Is the spreadsheet going to be up on the screen? You know,
I
you
don't
can
believe
do
so.
that.
I doubt it. I mean, it'd be a first.
Yeah.
But this, it's a
We're working on it.
process.
Yeah,
So,
So at this point, it's not able to see the information that.
that's what I thought, but
Public information.
the
But
code
we
is
want,
still-
you know,
hasn't that been based
from
for our
75 years?
Huh?
I think it's not where we want to be, to your point.
Right.
Well, if you don't even want to donate.
This, I
Oh,
got
it's
in
not
that
showing
shows there's
16.
teams, but it's handed out to me. This
So
is
now,
it's a draft.
And there's no one dialed in. So.
I know.
Yeah, we don't really know.
Like for the-
So
Yeah.
that's the place to care of everything.
Oh, that's what's such a big one.
One switch, you gotta make that so. They got like banner set.
Yeah, and then you want.
On that side.
They get you for airbag.
Way up on. channel.
Not bad, yeah.
That's funny.
You make them through the, computer.
Smile for the camera.
Makes them good.
All right, so we're good when you're
Oh,
good.
one, so. If this is, this section is in the, and then that's in the three.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it is switch between that one and that
Is
one.
it for some- what is that?
You can.
Oh, she's already found.
Oh.
Yeah, well, she just works until.
You just send them.
Is she here on Friday?
She'll be here tomorrow.
Just-
Okay.
Yeah.
This one, maybe.
Thank you.
She'll be here until tomorrow. Okay,
All right, we're good to go.
all right, thank you. We'll call this meeting to order at 1:02. And if everybody can stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Zokos. Here. Sanders. Here. Hoff. Here. Eugene. Here. Kyle Killinger.
Here.
Jake Parma. Here. And President Bo.
What?
You're in attendance or were you
Oh, hang on, yes, but we're
observing?
I
not-
think she's just
We're
looking.
not part of roll call. so-
Oh, okay.
He's an inclusive guy.
Alright. We do have a quorum. We have 60%. We're missing two people. Don Ziemba and Catherine Marinowski. Item number 3. I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Seconded. It's gonna be easy.
Moved by Sanders, seconded by Zizokos. Motion carries. Approval of the agenda. Item number 4. I'd like a motion for approval of the minutes from the March 12th,
We
2000.
You still need to do the vote for that motion in a second, even though it's a
Okay.
consent,
Sorry.
That works.
just have it on the record.
All right. Let me just outline this here. All right. Roll call, Zozokos,
Yes.
Sanders,
Aye.
Hoff, yes. Motion carries. Now, again, approval of the minutes from March 12th of the Finance Committee. 2026, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Zizoko, seconded by Sanders. Voting. Zizokos,
Aye.
Sanders.
Aye.
Hoff, aye. Motion carried. Moving on. Public comments. We have one person that would like to speak, and that is Vernon.
Hello, my name is Deborah Vernon. I live at 821 Locust Drive, Sleepy Hollow, been residents here for 23 years. I was looking forward to coming to the meeting today. I did hear that no public comments, or I know, let me just start over, that the documents that are at all of the trustees of the spots. I asked Trustee Huff, I asked Courtney Bowe, the president, I asked Eugene Van. Eugene Van said that it was not available because they were in the draft. I don't believe that to be true. On March 16th, I got this document right here, which was the budget. It has lines for, you know, all the different years proposed and best case scenario. This was handed to me in March when I came the other time. I read that a draft document distributed at a public meeting in Illinois is considered a public record under the Illinois Freedom Act FOIA, but it may be exempt from disclosure if it is a preliminary draft used for formulating policy. However, the draft is publicly cited and identified by the body, or if it is the final version, which it is not, rather than a preliminary, it loses that exemption. So the way I read it, if that document is publicly cited, because you're all looking at it, it should be a public document. All right, number two, and I'm gonna follow up with the Illinois Public Access Division at the Illinois Attorney General or State's Attorney General and have a conversation with them, because I don't believe this is correct. I posted it on social media trying to get people to come, and I'm very disappointed I could not see the document. Number two, it maybe is corrected, but I believe that the property taxes current should be 1,033,727, which should be the first line on your general fund. I have been in conversation with the tax extension office, and there is a road and bridge that is on a levy, and it had to be signed by the administrator. So I'm assuming that is, I know that is the right number, 1,033,727. And I guess that is all that I have for now. I just look forward to having openness in this conversation. The last meeting was great. I think it's good for residents, and I'm going to keep coming, and I'm going to keep saying what I think I need to say in a respectful manner. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Item number 6, old business. First up on that is the review of the current fee schedule. It's in your packet, everyone. Is there anything material that's been changed on it?
No, this is the draft document that we had discussed, and I put the changes in it. My understanding is that this is still a draft document because we were discussing at the board meeting about being more inclusive rather than just soccer fields, that we were opening it up to the ball fields as well. So any fees or whatever we have to figure out will cover those.
Okay, so it's still a work in progress.
So it's still a work in progress.
Could I ask a question, because what came up during the meeting I was watching
Mhm.
is, you know, there was kind of trying to nail down the definitions, right? You know, baseball, does it include soccer? Where is that at? How
So-
that we can actually see it and maybe update all of them at one time?
So that's out of the purview of this committee.
Okay.
But the current one is drafted as soccer field specifically. There was not an allowance for the ball field, and so that's what's under revision now, is my understanding. Is that they're gonna try to be more inclusive.
Okay, I think that would be the goal, is like we've seen it all along, is we gotta look more globally.
Yep.
And, you know, even limiting it to just baseball and soccer, I would recommend we look at it as more of a organized group sports or
Yep.
something like that. Because somebody comes in with a, you know, what do you say, lacrosse team,
Mhm.
We don't have a coverage for that, so maybe that's the way, if you could pass that
That's
along.
already in the works,
Thank you.
So that would be discussed at the regular board.
board meeting, yeah.
Okay. So what do we, at this point, there's really nothing.
Well, I just have another background question. The fees that are being collected here. Most of them are self-explanatory, but given that our ball fields. And specifically the baseball fields is in need of some repairs. That the dollars that are collected here on an annual basis. Are being spent on what right now? Are they just going into the general fund?
It just goes into the general fund, which does directly reimburse this. So what happens is when someone reimburses us, this would actually be more come to us as a fee. But stuff that's reimbursed goes into whatever department is, was affected by it, but this is a fee. And so it's all going into the general fund, the field maintenance and stuff like that is a general fund, and so the fees would also go into the general fund.
Do we know off the top of our head, or can we find it quickly, what was collected under pavilion fields in dollars last?
Let me ask it a different way. As I look at the fee sheet, how can we connect these, Eugene, to the general ledger accounts?
Yes. Let me take a look. What I did was I eliminated the accounting numbers, so on the left-hand column, I did like a line number instead. So it probably would be line 15.
Other fees. and
Other fees
permits.
and permits.
Yeah,
So it's nominal.
yeah, well, because we haven't collected, about this time is when we start collecting the fees. So it would end up being at the end of the year, or
the beginning of
in
the
the-
year.
so it's like when you look at the 3-year average, that's probably around where it's gonna be.
And Kyle, the cost to update that field. I know we've talked about it at the board. The dollar amount's probably been mentioned, but just for
$18,000 for all.
have somebody do it. That's not us
No,
doing it.
that's just the dirt price.
That's the upgrade at the.
Yeah, that's with the clay, sand, mixed baseball soil. It's expensive stuff.
So with the option then is that they take it as it is.
They're gonna have to, because
Yeah.
my plan would be to put grass in the infield and just have the bases and mound be dirt. But we have this group coming in, I can't do that until. I don't know when, they're gonna use it 2 days
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
Do you have the
That's almost a
pull
fall.
behind so you can drag the field?
Mm-mm.
You don't have that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Park
one of the
district does
advantages of
it
the
in the
grass.
spring
Yeah.
and maybe midsummer, that's about it.
How about with the gator? That wouldn't work, that we can pull something with the gator around there?
Yeah, but you go walk
tires
the
are
field,
ripping it up.
it's not baseball dirt anymore.
Yeah,
It's,
no, I get it.
yeah.
So which one of these fees would be specific to the ball field?
It probably would be the field permit. Because it would be for whatever field we designated, unless we wanted to create new categories.
So we're talking $75 a day
Yeah,
for a resident? Or $5 an hour? Which way are we gonna charge this team that comes there?
Um,
Well, there's a.
Chairman Hall?
Yes,
Are you guys still interested in the numbers of what the other fees and permits brought in previous years? You would ask for kind of an average, because it was only like $900 here.
no, it's all because what it is we don't collect that fee until April.
Yes, so I was just gonna say, I went through the last 4 and just pulled up what we got in the last 4 years. Would that be helpful?
but we have a 3-year average of $4,324.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
So,
I was gonna show the fluctuations.
thank you. What is this team? Again, just
I forget the name of them.
but they've already come to the village and said,
That's Bill Kennelly's been in contact with him. I haven't heard anything,
Okay.
only what Bill relays to me, and I don't think there's a plan yet decided exactly, because Bill was still working out the kinks of what it entails and all that.
My understanding, they weren't asking for a ton of like our work. Right?
Well,
They were
they
taking
can
it.
ask, but we can.
My
tell them
point
no.
is we're setting the bar very low.
Absolutely.
And the bigger thing we want to do is update the definition so it's broader.
Mhm.
And then I think there was an exception request outside this meeting for this group that was talking about like a toolbox type
Mhm.
back or whatever.
Snack box.
Put their supplies in. That'd be the only thing, which is very typical to have that like just chained to the back of a backstop.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But I don't think they were looking for money specifically. If they are, then.
But we are gonna charge them.
Sure, as we should.
Mhm.
Yep.
What we would provide is that we mow the grass, just like we treat them the same as the soccer club.
Well, there's obviously not enough money to do it the way it should be done, and it's existed that way for so long. So, rock and hard place.
So I'm guessing we just kind of, this is for review. There's really nothing to do about that.
Or it's just, we're just talking about
Right.
the fee structure.
Okay,
You know, do we want a different fee structure for the ball field versus the soccer field or?
I'm comfortable with the numbers. When we hash them out, that's the one. But Bill, you did?
yeah,
I will have to add on to this. What I'm going to do is on page 3. I had combined the minimum fee and the infrastructure fee into one, so
Yep.
I'm going to separate those out.
Okay. That could be a question later on.
all right. Any other questions, comments, discussion? On the fee?
Just. So outside of, like the transition fees, are those showing up in the building permits?
So the transition fees is if we're having a housing development,
right.
and we have no.
Okay, we don't have any, where would it be? I'm asking, is everything just gonna go into the bucket of other fees and permits?
No, this money comes to us and then we get to distribute it out, so none of this.
Okay,
stays
none
with us.
of the state permits, okay.
Yeah.
And just for the record, everything in red has changed from last
Yeah,
fiscal year.
yeah.
Okay. Not that I wanna delve deep into this, but are we gonna be able to separate that infrastructure charge on the water bill?
Yes, I already talked to Wendy about that, and we're gonna do something similar to the water wall.
As we talked about.
Yeah.
But we've only got 5 lines, right?
Exactly, it's gonna probably prevent me from separating the demand from the usage, but it is what it is at this point.
Would we not want to just combine?
Is there any way
I mean, it's gonna be
we
an ugly
ask your
number.
vendor if he could give us another line?
If we can get another line if we wanna pay for it,
How much was that gonna be?
tens of thousands, because they have to reprogram.
In the interim. I
If they
mean,
can, even do it with, because then it also affects the print.
I mean, I know it hasn't been done because number one, the slots available. And we do have the ability to, there's one free slot now. And we
Right.
want to use it specifically. We do have to isolate it.
Right,
Just-
so that's why I
Yeah.
would, so I'm gonna isolate the new $50 charge. But the water demand and usage that's currently combined, I had hoped to separate those out.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be able to separate those out. Because the situation is that also has to happen with the sewer demand and the sewer usage. So that's 4 lines right there, plus you have your water meter
right.
line, so that's 5 lines.
Is there a meter charge twice for somebody that's on sewer and water?
No, no, because all
Okay.
we're measuring is the water that's
Got it.
coming into the building.
So how about we add the $30 demand with the sewage?
So,
So that
So
got
my-
separated, and then because the water has gotten so much focus, we
right,
can now show it and then list it. That $50 on the financial statement.
right, that's what I was gonna do is get the water demand and usage will be together, and then the water infrastructure will be a separate line item.
And we're better off, you think, doing that rather than combining the demand, which I would argue is a maintenance fee.
Yeah, right, it's an
Yeah.
operating and maintenance fee.
Right, along with the infrastructure. It's gonna be an $80 number, but it's truly
Well, the
straightforward. At
the
least.
discussion we had, or the discussion that was put forth, was that we were gonna separate the $50 demand fee out. So that it would segregate those funds. Now, when we combine that with the demand fee, then it makes it much more difficult to do that. So by charging it as,
Okay,
both, like the water one, I'm able to keep it as a separate item.
So,
so that ties right into the GL is what you're saying.
Yes, right,
so
I
can you just run through what it's gonna be now on a water bill if I'm a sewer customer as
So
well?
if you're a sewer customer and you're also getting water, so you're gonna get, your water fee. And you'll have a water infrastructure charge of 50. Then you'll have your sewer, charge. which
Back
will
up on the water fee.
be- Mhm.
Is that the 30?
That's the 30 and the usage.
What I thought, plus usage. Okay, water fee, 30 plus the usage of $10 for every 1,000, water infrastructure fee,
Yep, the $50.
yep,
And then you're gonna have your sewer demand and usage fee. So it's.
is that combined?
Yes.
Or demand of, which is 30.
So it's
plus
consistent.
Usage.
Yeah.
Got it, okay, all
And then
right,
you'll have your meter fee.
that's 4. Where am I missing?
I'll put the new one.
No, that includes it, but like I said, is that the goal had been to separate the water demand from the water usage. And so you would also separate the sewer demand from the sewer usage. That's 4 lines. Your meter is 5 lines. Your water infrastructure fee is 6 lines.
Okay.
So how much room is there?
It's not a landscape
For no-
program.
for no.
It's a programming issue.
It's a program.
No, okay, I get that. How
But
about,
we can put
is
notes
there
on
room for
that.
notes?
Well, there's room for notes that gets used, every month
Right,
for
exactly.
messages.
Okay,
So if we have a consistent message on it.
Well, could we put it on the backside is what I'm
yes,
saying.
I'm saying if we put
That
80,
stuff is pre-printed,
It's pre-printed.
it's pre-printed on the form, so we have to
Okay,
wait until they exhaust the
Okay,
current
because
supply.
your point,
and have
it
it.
includes X would be nice. to
the
have.
$80 fee includes,
Or the water.
Or the
includes
whatever.
$30 for this,
Yeah.
but that's, so we're kind of locked into.
We're kind of locked into until we exhaust.
When's the last time we asked if they could, modify it or if they're in the.
Well, like I said, we
mindset.
can do it, but so we have the choice of either they trashing everything that they currently have. I don't know what the current supply is. And redoing it, or exhaust the current supply and then having it. There is a printing fee. At a separate cost, we can have them include a separate sheet in there, explaining stuff. But then that is, again, additional fee for us.
Well, we can accomplish some of that by information on the
Right.
website too.
Wendy's already putting in for this bill that just went out, that there's this $50 infrastructure fee is being added to the bill.
When the first those are getting printed.
They got printed yesterday.
Hopefully you could actually pull
Okay.
it off. then. Okay.
Yeah, the April or the March usage was printed and sent out in April and is due May 4th.
can we post a sample bill on our website with notes on it that somebody, should they choose to look there, might have a better explanation of what that was, if we're not able to break it out.
I mean, it's a good idea. I mean,
you know, we could do that, or they can call and ask and I'll tell
No.
let's,
Yeah, but we don't want them to have to do that.
I mean, it's a lot of,
Let's try to eliminate as many of those calls as we can.
Right.
So let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is on the website
okay,
and I still get the phone calls.
Okay,
And I don't turn around and tell
I don't doubt that.
them, here's the information, it is on the website.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm not leaving
I'm not
myself any
surprised by
time.
that. Okay.
but there, this ties into the bigger picture. I mean, we're still kind of on this.
Mhm,
I know we're limited as far as space or programming.
right,
I maybe that's got a good idea whether we can do it, because I do think there are
Yeah,
things I
it's-
wanted to be able to share.
Right.
Such as an FAQ and such as a
Yep.
letter of what we're doing.
I
That would be
have no
maybe
problem
boom,
doing
boom,
that.
boom, that we write in one spot.
Yeah, I have no problem doing that, and you know, I've done it for a lot of stuff, but I'm telling you is that people. Don't
Yeah,
read
I
it.
mean, but at this point, it wouldn't, it's not, it's something that we've tried to
Yeah.
communicate. I think if we take the stance that, well, they're probably just gonna call us anyways.
Mhm.
You know, that's shame on us. So let's take that extra step, put it there. We don't have to be smart asses or something to say it's on the website, but we can point them that way too. And, you know, so I think people would like to see a visual is very powerful. Right?
So what has Wendy actually done? You mean that she put it up here? in the emails?
Yeah, so that, yeah, it goes up there in the notes.
I hate to be the one to bring this up, but this is not budget related,
No,
so let's.
well, that's
I
that.
know, I didn't want to get married down in this either,
Thank
but
you.
it is. It's a timing thing.
So, but the part of the budget will be eventually is segregating it on the GL, on the balance and P&Ls. We want that infrastructure fee isolated so
Yep.
people can say, this is where your money's going
Yep.
and this is what it's being used for.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Everybody comfortable with the fee schedule? As it's
The
presented.
numbers until I see out something else, look fine to me.
Yeah, so the one changes, I'll separate out that infrastructure and the demand fee.
All right.
That's on there.
All right. I guess we take a motion to approve the fee schedule as written
With those changes.
with those changes. And the only change that I've seen is the breakout of the water infrastructure charge. Showing 30 and the 50 for the.
And the amendment of the definition has no bearing on the word. Actually, that's fine.
Are we actually approving this? You don't.
So what we're
Recommending.
recommending
For the board.
to the board.
What was
So moved.
that definition you were saying, Bill?
All right, we were in the process of redefining how the fees are charged, ball field, you know,
Soccer
by
field,
sport.
ball field.
That doesn't necessarily preclude us from agreeing on the fees.
Okay.
I'm
I hear
guessing
you from
that-
this side when you're talking
Yeah,
that.
I've
Thank you.
accused that before.
Yeah, right now it's listed as per field permit, so that in and of itself is all inclusive.
Okay. I would move.
Field is a
on.
fee.
We recommend this to the,
I second.
Motion made by Sanders, seconded by Zizokos. Roll call vote, please. Zizokos,
Aye.
Sanders.
Aye.
Hawk. Aye. Motion carries. All right. Now we get into fiscal year 27 budget.
Should probably do the 5-year cap first.
You had it right on top.
Yep.
All right, you're gonna do a lot of speaking in this one.
Just some of the items we were looking for the next budget is, John Florence had asked that the computer that's used for the board room here be upgraded. I'm estimating that it's gonna be about $3,000. I believe it's on the high side. There's been discussions between Skylar and and John, but I've never got a firm figure on what that cost is gonna be. But this system here is at least 5 years old. And I guess there's problems with it.
In the,
Okay.
just so I'm following this with the budget. There's a couple different numbers, there's 3,015, there was a best case at 15.
Which,
I'm just into the actual line items in the budget.
Are you on that
Line
page?
163, no, I'm in the budget itself. Line 163, there's the first pass was at 3,000.
the 1,500 would be my best guess is if we get it completely at that price.
Okay, so we are.
We're getting a desktop,
Yes,
Okay.
upgraded desktop.
Yeah.
Is that all we needed?
that's just from administration. The other are the other two gentlemen.
All right. Moving along. Lock camera contract.
Correct, that's so when we did the program was a 2-year, initial 2-year agreement. So I added what I figured is the difference between the $5 that we get per average per vehicle sticker. And then budgeted for the difference. So the 8,500 is the difference between what we would get from the vehicle stickers versus the total cost of the flag program for year 2.
We did a 3-year.
2-year. Village will have to decide if they want to continue prior to the expiration before next meeting, basically.
How much were you figuring the $5 totals?
I think we were figuring somewhere around 12,000 is where that figure comes in. And the 8,500 figure would put us,
It's 2,400 stickers.
No. Okay, so what
Am I
happened was,
thinking?
what happened was several years ago, the village vehicle stickers were $35. It came up that we wanted to increase the sticker price to then use that extra $5 towards police services. And so that $12,000 is that extra $5 based on the number of stickers that we issue.
And how many stickers did we issue?
We issue about $100,000 worth of stickers every year.
And right now we're charging 40.
40. Yeah,
So that's 2,500 stickers.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's why we said it.
well, it's.
Mhm.
2,400
there's-
stickers at $5 is
Well,
12 grand.
Yeah.
Okay,
because there are, the senior discounted ones,
Yep,
they're only 36, but then we also include the trucks and those are 55 and 49.50 and stuff like that, so it's just a ballpark.
and this isn't probably the place, because I think we want to have a finance committee next meeting where I'm advocating for a deep dive into our revenue streams for the village. And, you know, I had the thought that, you know, where does that actual money go that we collect on village stickers?
Support
General
the
fund.
general, it's all the general fund.
And I was debate me or discuss is, I feel that money should go to roads since we're so.
Well, it does go.
Or
to roads.
is it going into the 150 that?
So the roads are paid for out of the general funds.
Well, it's semantics then.
Exactly. So you've got,
so the only thing going
you've got
the
560
roadway safety is the $5. That's it.
Yeah.
None of the other funds that come in through the vehicle stickers come into the police department or public works or, those are not part of our budget. So the only thing that goes in, and that was specifically agreed upon, that the $5 would go to roadway safety initiatives, whether it's the traffic safety signs, roadway striping, if we ever decide to do it, the machine that we have to measure speeds on roads, things like that. So,
And I don't have any problem with that at all.
Yes.
where I'm trying to come from here and debate me or whatever, but I think the residents have a clear picture of where their dollars are going if we designate things that make sense that they're spending it for. Water infrastructure is going to water mains. It connects in their mind. Vehicle stickers to me should be specific to roads.
568,000. That's the figure. It's going to roads, only to roads. So if you want to say.
That's out of general fund.
That's out of general fund. So if you want to say that we're going to designate just vehicle stickers to roads, I'm gonna take 468,000 and move it somewhere else. Because you're saying that then the general funds should only support the roads. Or that the stickers should only support the roads. Then the other money that's going to pay for the roads should go elsewhere in the budget. So that's why it all goes into one pocket. But if you want to say that the $100,000 for the vehicle stickers are paying for roads, you can say that because you're spending far more on roads than what's coming in. Those stickers.
Point taken. Any discussion? Any other thoughts?
No, I'm happy.
Well, but I think the budget, okay, the budget is one pot for the general fund. And the key, I think, there is the identification of how much money we're gonna budget to work to do the roads. So that we don't, that money's gonna be spent, whether it's sticker money, whatever money it is, we're gonna spend that on roads. And then we look at the bottom line and we see, okay, some things may have to be cut, some things may have to, because we gotta spend the money for it. Doesn't mean I agree. We all know we got a lot of road work to do. So I think the key is getting the right amount budgeted for those repairs or whatever we're gonna do there. And it's coming out of the pot of general revenue.
And if you want to add to that, there's another $700,000 that's also designated toward the road. That's coming out of a 5-year cap. So if you want to go stickers to roads, then all this other general fund money shouldn't be going to the roads.
Well, that 568 has multitudes of other things.
No,
Where I was
no,
coming from.
568 is roads and highways specifically.
That's total streets and highways, 568.
Yes.
And what's in there?
Yeah.
Salaries,
It's the salaries of the people who are fixing the roads,
our own employees.
our own employees. So a portion of our employees' salaries goes to that. A portion of it goes to Parks and Rec. A portion of it goes to water and sewer. So we break down the employee's salary based on the amount of work that they do for each item. Now, we can eliminate the salaries of the employees for streets and highway and we'll just hire out.
Not where I'm headed.
Yeah, it's, so what I'm
Not
saying is
where I'm
that,
headed.
that these
I
costs,
take your point.
yeah,
I just wanted to make things a little more transparent in the residents' mind of where their money is going. And if it's all going to general fund and we're spending 568,000, it's semantics then.
yeah, exactly. So
Right.
we also have the MFT funds. Again, those are very specific state funds that have to be used just for roads. And we do that and we segregate those funds out of there.
All right,
Back to the 8,500. Is this the last final year of this contract or?
This is, the going forward will be up to the board. If the board decides to continue with the flock camera program, then that 85 figure would stay true, assuming the contract stays close to what the cost is now, which flock generally doesn't raise them by much.
So we're lacking either, we basically finished a contract.
We've signed a contract for 2 years.
This is,
We're going into the second year of it now. And there is no withdrawal penalties or any of that stuff. If the village decided that they didn't want to go forward with the program, then it just goes away. Flock takes their equipment and
but that's not a decision, we're
Correct.
in order to make it, okay. Okay. from a number standpoint, what do we do?
All right. Moving on, Parks and Rec. Sabatino Park ADA compliance. $5,000 added in. I personally think that,
What was that for? I mean, I know it's ADA
Putting
compliant.
putting in basically a limestone path from the parking lot to.
The
Around
pavilion.
kind of by the playground and then to the pavilion,
how about to the,
baseball field.
no, the
Gazebo,
what?
gazebo.
The other side. of the street.
Gazebo on the other side.
No, it's just for. Basically.
Are we out of compliance on that?
It's a great question.
Because there was a ramp that rotted
Yes.
away and they buttoned it up.
Tell you yes. We are.
So what has to happen there is we have to rebuild the ramp.
Well, no, you'd have to do more than just that.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a path to that.
For a
entire
wheelchair to
gazebo.
be able to
Yes,
navigate up.
and it's inclined, so now you're gonna have to zigzag to get to the gazebo.
So kind of with that, is that something that we're being mandated to do at this moment? Or it's just been a,
For Sabatino, the playground, yes.
okay, so that's the difference. There's decisions that you can make or some that you just have to go with.
Correct.
Yep, it's in the figure, yeah.
Okay. Any issues?
And we,
Reasonable dollar?
and long term, that's one of those things that you don't have to refine and redo on a basis, like every 10 years.
Well,
wrap
yeah,
it up a
they'll
little
just
bit.
be basically compacted limestone shavings
Yeah,
to get it compliant, but those will be a maintenance thing yearly. It's not the end of the world.
That's
okay,
using our labor. You can.
okay.
Yeah, who's putting it in?
Yeah.
We are,
Okay,
yeah, we are.
you got the equipment?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Moving down. Village property.
I just want to make mention that that bike extension, again,
Yeah,
that was something that was requested years ago by West Dundee. We've already exceeded that amount in engineering costs and nothing has been done. I'm of the opinion, we have just a very tiny little section that needs to happen. West Dundee wants us to pay for all of it. And I'm not willing to do that. My thought is that if they want to do it, they can do the entire project and we will give them $15,000 for our little portion.
It's hard to
From
argue.
where to where.
Basically on River Ridge, if you're going east on Bonkoski, there's a path there.
Okay.
It would be to cut up that slope. But again.
Tie it to the pavement of the entrance to.
The park.
To the park, yeah. There's already a path there that when the subdivision went in, they paved a path and then they cut it off right at the boundary line,
The path on the south side?
north side.
Okay, just making sure I got it straight.
I know,
But I mean, they're gonna extend it now
All the way
to
to
the
the road.
drive
Correct.
that goes up into the bluff.
It would
Yes.
just, yeah, be right at the entrance
Okay.
of the bluffs.
But
And
the
in
problem-
order to do it, they would have to take the path way back to basically where their road is in and regrade the whole thing to make it flat enough for a wheelchair.
And
You know,
probably
but
do some
they-
kind of stonework on a
Yes.
wall
Yes.
as retention.
Exactly, and they want us to pay for that, and I'm saying, we're not, that's all yours.
I know
Paul.
Bill's working on that right now.
But
in
Bill
LA.
Canelli, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't know what the latest is.
And
but he
there
was-
is no latest.
He was, yeah, he wasn't happy with the
Yeah.
initial. I
Yeah,
know that.
Yeah.
they're not
They
gonna
keep-
move on it, we're not gonna move
Yeah,
on
they,
it.
they keep saying we pay for it.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll kick something in, but we're saying that like
Yeah.
90% of it is theirs, and why should we pay for theirs?
Okay,
They came to us and asked for it to begin with. That wasn't, something.
so we're not gonna spend any money on that right now.
No.
That's the.
But we've got it in there just in case they
As a
come
whole.
back and say,
Okay, all right.
We saved it this last fiscal year,
Yeah.
maybe we'll save it again.
exactly, we saved it for the last like
Okay.
4 years.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
We bumped up the village roof and siding and gutters to 100,000 from the last time.
And we do believe that that's probably not
this year.
27 probably.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen this year, but again, that's even probably still low. But
I think
Well,
by the time you.
do we have any
200.
leaks? Do we have any
no,
leaks?
no, we're good.
Okay,
We're good.
well, I mean. When did we do it last? The roof?
Long before me.
Long time ago,
Can you estimate for me?
probably mid to late 90s.
Wow. So it's 30 years old right now.
Mhm.
It does not look that
Don't tell the
bad.
insurance company, right?
No,
It really doesn't.
No.
I was thinking less than 10 years.
They know it all.
It's gonna be an expensive endeavor whenever we do it, because we have to pay prevailing wage.
I mean, we got it from 50 to 100 last couple months.
Mhm.
Guaranteed it's gonna be a good amount better than that. The idea though, I just wanna know, we don't believe it's gonna be this year.
Right.
But if we had to really jump on it instantly, 100,000 would go a long way toward at least the roof.
Yeah.
Right, it would at
Do
least
we-
help with some shingle work.
Would it cost us anything to get an estimate?
No, but what's the point? If.
Well, it's a gut check to the 100 grand we got in the budget.
Well, I can tell you that I'm seeing roofing permits come in at 30,000 for a house.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, is if it's free, let's get a couple estimates.
Well, but the problem is that if you're a business owner and you have to keep coming out to places to give them estimates that you know that they're not going to, you know, pull the trigger
It's
on.
not as just a easy, here's an estimate for a roof. It's an estimate involving prevailing wage.
You're asking a lot of work for someone to do something that they're not gonna get a dime on. And it would
For us to feel better.
For us to feel better.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that.
I mean, if you wanna get an estimate, Bill, go ahead and call them.
I'll do it.
But
I'm-
it's a waste of my time because we're not gonna
Well,
enact on it anytime.
I'll be
soon.
more than happy to.
I mean,
Try to get
we
us
can argue.
just to see is our number, and I won't make the guy go through, getting up on the roof 5 times or anything like that. Give us a ballpark.
Well, it's not just the roof though.
And
because we have
if a guy
we
come
have
on here and
siding-
say, we
we
budgeted
have-
this for
we
100
have
grand, are we
siding
in the
that needs-
ballpark?
We have siding that needs replaced. We have windows that need to be replaced. So it would just be, Let's just throw a new roof on and call it a day.
I cannot
I
open
understand.
my window in my office to get fresh air because it won't close.
But that's not included in the 100,000.
no, that's just to have, if we had to do something tomorrow, we at least have 100 grand to get the bare minimum done.
But we don't know that.
Well,
No,
based
it was-
on.
Because we haven't got
Yeah,
that
Well, I
yet.
know that
It's-
100
it's
grand will
enough.
cover a bare
If you
minimum.
did the
enough to
roof
cover
by
it.
square, you could back into it.
Yeah.
And if Gene's saying $30,000 permits, let's just say this is the equivalent of 3 houses
Houses,
from the land.
Yeah,
We would be close. That doesn't give us siding coverage, but
right. You know, we're
we're worried about the leaking.
Well, I mean,
this is fairly level, a lot of the houses with the more expensive ones have different type roof pitches and stuff like that. This is, a fairly easier one for them to do. Maybe the barn site's a little bit more difficult, but what's gonna fail is this section here. And that they could do that easily for within the $100,000.
does anybody have a problem if I call the roofing contractor and got a more firm number?
What if it comes in at 175?
At least we know.
Okay.
So next year.
Well, can we do it?
So next year
Next year.
we can say. I mean, it's just planning purposes, guys. I'm not gonna spend any money here. I'm just,
I can go ahead.
I'm just saying that, you're wasting someone's time. That-
people do estimates all the time, Eugene.
Okay,
If he can give me a,
Well, you.
pull in the parking lot
Gonna be there.
and walk around the building and tell me, or at least measure how many squares we have up there. That's all I'm asking, guys.
I can tell you this, when we re-roofed the salt dome, it was hard to get estimates. Prevailing wage, a lot of roofing companies don't even.
Well, I can
wanna
have that
bother with it.
conversation with him over.
And
the
you're gonna
phone.
say, hey, come on out, do an estimate for me. Oh, by the way, we're not gonna do anything. But I want this estimate. Oh, he'll be really happy to waste his time.
Do you think every guy contractor comes out is guaranteed to do the job. He is.
No, but
estimating.
he's estimating, hoping that he's competitive with whoever you have come out. But we're not going to do any construction anytime soon.
But we have 100,000 in the budget.
Correct.
Let's take it out. Let's take the 100 out
We
then.
can, we can do
That
that.
would be irresponsible.
If you guys have no intention of doing it, take it out.
We can take it out.
I have it in there as an insurance fund, just in
But-
case we have an issue.
And that's why it's there, is because when we go over the appropriation,
Correct.
because we didn't have it budgeted. But we know that the roof alone is not gonna be 100,000. The roof, the siding, the gutters together are gonna be far more than 100,000. But we know that the roof alone, which is the most dangerous part of it, that collapses or whatever, we're gonna be fine. It was $25,000 to do the roof of the salt bar.
Right.
When
How much?
25,000, and that was on the prevailing
That's a
wage,
difficult to.
and that was on the prevailing wage, but without prevailing wage, I think it was like 6,000, 7,000,
And yeah, it was like 8, I want to say 8.
8,000.
Yeah,
Well, we only have one choice.
Yep.
Prevailing.
right.
So,
Okay, so we've gone through this now with the water mains. The idea is we're taking monies and putting it aside because we know at some point there's gonna be a big dollar
Mhm.
over time.
Mhm.
So we want reserves. Do we need a reserve for this?
This is the reserve.
Okay, a bigger reserve. If we're doing,
No, this is.
okay,
this
it's
is-
not just the roof. You tell me your window doesn't work?
This is what the 5-year cap is.
Okay.
Is it's our reserve for items like this that don't happen every year, but you have to kind of account for. So
So
we're,
with that number, that's 100,000 should be 200,000.
but we're not planning on spending it this year.
Okay, we haven't planned on spending it the last 4 years.
We're
So-
also only we have a very limited budget.
No.
So it'd be great to throw 500,000 in there for the building. That's great. Where
Yeah,
does the
you're
rest
missing
of
the
the
point.
stuff come from?
If something happens, we have to pay for it.
And that's why we have a 5-year cap.
Yeah, but so 100,000 would be enough. And you're right. Are we planning on spending it this year? No,
So then what you.
we're
do
not
is
planning
you
on
put-
spending it any year.
Then you put $100,000 for every year.
well, we went
I
to
think
50, we doubled it to 100
Right.
for the last meeting we had, didn't we? I think we did.
Yep.
So,
But I think the chairman, Huff's thinking is. If we don't have an estimate of at least what the windows are gonna cost or what the roof's gonna cost, then how do you know how much to put aside? We're just spitballing. If somebody comes out and gives us a prevailing wage estimate, then this is probably there's gonna be inflationary issues obviously going forward. But at least we have an idea of what it's gonna cost. And considering my department's under a lot of the roof, I'd like for the roof not to leak on all of our equipment. But I think if we don't get an estimate to what the windows are gonna cost, to what the roof's gonna cost, you'll have no idea going forward how much to actually put aside.
But is it something that we would agree that we could get between now and next year's budgeting?
We could, but we had a situation with the windows on the barn. We went out and got all these estimates. And they were outrageous, and what we ended up doing is putting plexiglass over it. So we've wasted a lot of people's time to do,
I disagree. with
Debbie,
that,
could you
Eugene.
please stop making comments? It's very distracting when we're trying to have a conversation.
I'm gonna move into that, I think. That would be better.
Eugene, I don't see the harm in getting an estimate.
Okay, you want to get an estimate, that's fine, but I'm saying, I'm looking out for the businessman who thinks he's going to get a
But
job.
that's not what your concern should be. Your concern is that you're the man that's building the budget, and we have to have numbers in here that are justifiable.
Okay. Go ahead
That's
and
all
get
I'm
an
saying.
estimate.
I'm more than happy to do it.
Okay, but my point being, we're in the process of finalizing numbers today.
Right,
We're not going to have that today.
yes,
Could we agree that it's a step we would take between now and next budget to
Mhm.
have a more comfortable. And like I said, when I saw the 50, I knew right off the bat, that was crazy.
So the
So I know
person,
100 isn't exactly right, but it's what we have to work with.
the person who is responsible for this is the trustee who is responsible for buildings. So you would have to talk to the person responsible for buildings and have them go out and arrange it.
If I may add, I like the idea that, excuse me, I'll just put in a cough drop. Suzokas had just said, let's project this as a goal for next budget next year. Run it by trustee Schatzberger, since she's public buildings, so we can get an estimate and proceed from there.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you, Bill.
Replacements.
Renew the entrances. Signage, Kyle, you still haven't found a sign vendor?
Not one that's reasonable.
I did notice a new sign on the front of the building of Gilbert's Village Hall. That may or may not work for us. It's not 3D like ours, it's just flat, but nicely done. Just throwing it out
Our
there.
signs that we have, we need to. The board needs to have a discussion on how we want those to look, because the current, they're expensive to do the way they are. They're really cool looking. But there's a lifespan to them.
Yep.
And they're getting old. And then we also have a sign. Well, the entrances off Rainbow have two signs. They have a Rainbow Drive, Sleepy Hollow, Sharon Drive, Sleepy Hollow, Hickory Drive, Sleepy Hollow. It's kind of repetitive, so.
Yeah, I agree. We don't need to do both, but again, for the board. Dam drainage culvert projects.
We put that in there just in case something happens, like there was a situation where, I think it was over on Willow where there was water pooling or whatever, and we had to put in a drain line to help the water flow a little bit better.
Okay.
So sometimes we can do the work ourselves, sometimes we have to hire out, so we need to have money just in case a situation like that develops.
But at present, we don't see it being spent today.
Every year there's a little bit spent.
Okay. All right. I
We
feel
have
comfortable.
spent at this point 13,518 for this fiscal year. Of the 25,000.
All right, let me see if it plays out.
Yep.
Future years.
Yep.
Okay. Equipment. The totals, oh, that's the total for. Nothing on equipment, but the
Right,
total of that page is 130. Page 2. Crane drive median. To 20,000. If we put it in, can we spend it?
If the board approves it.
Okay,
I think that's, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's already approved.
that is. Definitely past its useful life. Culvert replacements. 130, how, what is that?
That's
Where's that
for,
specifically?
specifically and keep in mind, I'm thinking Timber Drive. And then any other culverts that arise through just their past their use of life. So I estimate about 70% of the culverts in this town are to their end of life cycle.
But this is not residential culverts, correct?
This is, no,
Is that
no, this
like
is
not-
roadway
Right,
culvert
okay.
underneath.
I
the
just want to make
road,
sure I read
right
that.
alongside the road, yeah,
Yeah, if mine went bad, that would be on me.
yes.
Okay.
And nothing was spent last year?
we didn't, no, it wasn't in the budget,
Wasn't in the budget, so.
so if you look on the current budget. It's
Yep.
blank,
Got it.
And some of this is some of the funds we already had allocated from the grant of some sort. right?
No.
That one's all spent up.
no, that's not included in this at all.
Okay, okay.
Not even in the thoroughbred culvert replacement?
So where that comes in. It comes in one of the income lines. But the 430, again, we can't.
That's the
It's
expenditure.
the problem with the DECO grant is it's a reimbursement grant, so we have to have the cash upfront, do the project. And then months later, we'll get the money. So that's why you can't just say, oh, well, the project's only 230,000. Because you have to pay for the entire thing and then wait for the money.
Okay.
Here's the question, thoroughbred culvert replacement is under village property on 2026.
Because of
Is
the,
it 860 total over the 2 years?
no, so what happened is I moved it from,
Oh, because there's nothing
I
here.
Oh,
moved
this
it,
is where you're shifting it in the budget?
I'm shifting it from village property to roads because under the DECO grant. The DECO grant was specific that it was to be towards roads. And we can make the justification that we need the culvert because it's supporting the road.
And are we not putting Hillcrest on also in the same year?
We were not, what we're doing is we're gonna get this one done and then we're gonna start working on the other one.
Okay.
So we could put in the budget, for fiscal year 28, but at this point, we haven't decided. If we want to do long-term and, add that in, we can.
Thank you.
And you've gotten some idea what this would cost. We've had engineers or looked at this and cost. We have all an estimate.
Yeah, the engineering's been done on thoroughbred for sure.
Yeah.
Hillcrest,
Hillcrest
he
gave us,
gave us an estimate, but
Yeah.
we're also gonna lump the dam in at that same time. When we look at thoroughbred and we go out for engineering and permits and stuff.
Okay.
To see whether we can keep the dam or they have us remove the dam.
And that's our record. If you look at
Yeah.
it. Okay. But we do know that, this is kind of a priority
Yes.
based on its location and the
Right.
proximity of cutting off the village and.
Right. Mhm.
and that's the argument I used in the grant application is that if the road fails here because of the culvert, the village is split in two and it would not get the emergency services that it needs.
Moving on, vehicles. 2024. Snowplow,
This is the build out. So we already purchased the
Chassis.
chassis of the trucks. So this is the rest of the build out that we've been waiting for.
when would we get delivery of that? Before next winter?
I think so, it's looking like it. They notified me it's in the assembly line, whatever that means. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's been about a year already that
Mhm.
they've had it. And the estimate was 18 months.
Is the price locked in then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, to that point, if they want to sit on it till we need it, that would be the worst case, unless you use it for other things.
well, I mean, it's a 2024 model that I'm getting in 2026, so.
But you're not taking up space is what I meant.
Well, when we get it, I'll get rid of the oldest one.
That was my next question. We're gonna substitute that for something.
Yeah, for the 2006 International.
Okay,
How are we gonna get rid of that, Kyle?
Maybe Gov deals. Probably most likely best option.
You think we can get rid of it fairly quickly?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's got,
Yeah,
I mean,
They bought the playground.
Yeah.
Some gave us 10 grand for a playground that was past useful life.
What do you guys think it's worth, the trade?
the truck. 8 to 10,000.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, so it's noted.
thank you.
All right, new F-250, is that all in? Cost? Or is
Yeah,
there some
well, that's-
modifications from?
I could probably get it down in price wise, but I don't know what the actual build out would be, because what I would like to do with the next pickup truck we have is not just put a cap over the bed. That gives us no room for storing our water keys or anything like that, so I'd like to have something like the West MD guys have, where they have compartments and all of that. And I don't know what the total spec will be until I go to Sourcewell and see what's available through Sourcewell.
Have you ordered it?
No,
And it replaces an existing even, right?
yes,
I can tell you that F-250 we have now needs to be replaced.
you know,
And 70,000 for a truck doesn't seem extravagant. Unfortunately.
Have we heard yet about the 450?
the chassis is available. We bought the chassis. already.
No, the one that we have that's.
Oh, that's in the shop? No, I have not heard yet.
just so everybody knows, you're aware of it. The engine was shaking violently when it was started. So I would say, and that would be a 2 or a year and a half away to get one of those
No, we already ordered the chassis of that one.
in fiscal year 26 when we paid 120.
We haven't paid anything yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
So the first column is what we budgeted and the second column is what we actually spent this year.
gotcha.
So if it's a dash, it means that we haven't spent anything but yet, you know.
it's the same concept as the Mac. Once the chassis is available, you're on a waiting line till they get to your unit.
Well, out of a caution of saving some money here, what's the earliest we could get that at 450?
I have no idea. It's an unknown.
Not even on the line yet.
No,
Hmm.
no.
But what if that needs a new engine?
Then
I don't think we have a
Need a new
choice.
engine, and then it would come out of my
out of maintenance.
vehicle
budget.
maintenance budget.
We don't have any idea how much that would be.
I don't know, but I
Kinda
can't
right.
speculate on what's wrong with it. I haven't heard from him yet, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just thinking out loud.
And so when you do, to your point, like, you have no transparency into that, and, we work through what third party.
Into the new truck purchases and stuff.
Yeah.
For these particular ones, it's kind of a specialty thing, because it's not just like going to Wickstrom Ford and buying a pickup truck. It's more of, you have to find the availability of the bigger trucks. Then they have to put the hydraulic systems on it, the snowplow package on it, and the boxes on it. And that's
Right.
all done through basically a third party. The company this year was Linco, which was the Sourcewell contract. So Sourcewell does the bidding process for municipalities.
Is there a way to reach out to get a read? Do we have that right to say, hey, by the way, how's this coming?
Per the.
Because that could influence your decision on the engine rebuild if you needed to do that, right?
No,
It's not gonna be that quick no matter what.
we decide we want to move forward with this truck that like the Mac, okay? We give them our guarantee that we're gonna buy the chassis from it, so we have to pay for the chassis. And then you give them the guarantee that we're gonna buy the rest of the package. You can't just say, oh, you know what, I can't do this, I need to buy a truck that's already available.
Or I need to replace the engine and I'm just gonna keep mine. So once you commit to
You're
the,
committed.
once you're committed, even though it's gonna take you 18 months, you're committed.
Right, no, I'm not looking to back out, I'm just looking to see get a read.
Oh, like,
Is there some kind of ETA that they could project?
I'm sure they'd give me, like.
That's all I'm
a couple
saying.
months, Yeah.
If someone said it's 2 months away, that may influence your decision on your repair, I'm not saying it will, but it's.
No, I'd have to repair the truck.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's the workhorse. of it.
This,
Great.
according to, I've talked to other municipalities and stuff like that, and they're months, sometimes years out
Okay.
on trucks. I think Catherine was talking about the fire truck, so it was like 3 years. or
Yeah,
something
that's
like
such a
that.
specialty
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's such a crazy specialty,
yeah.
I would think. Okay.
International is a 4-year wait.
Okay. Trying to save some money for you.
I agree.
And then in fiscal year 28, I know we're not talking about it, but you're thinking about replacing a second snowplow. You're starting that process.
Starting the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we're just saying is that we see this coming down the road. And so for the next 5 years, we're trying to think ahead and saying that this is an expense that we're gonna have. It's not gonna be this current year, but it's definitely coming up.
And if we did that, what would the fleet look like? Would be completely be refreshed within 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, if we did, so say fiscal year 28, we did get a new snowplow truck. Our oldest plow truck will be a 2020 at that point.
Okay.
And hopefully by then too, the assembly lines are caught up, and then you're not playing the guessing game of when to order the truck, because you're gonna wait 2 years to get a truck. Hopefully it's caught up. So I know if I order a truck, I can get it in 6 to 8 months instead of 2 to 3 years. Makes it easier for us too.
All right. Under equipment, again, we have a cracked sealer. I would love it.
This is my idea. I was coming in on Sleepy Hollow Road. We just replaced that a couple of years ago, and we've already got deep cracks running, parallel with the road because the edge is falling off. And I have seen in other communities, and in the community that I've been in, that they, come by every year and they seal all the cracks before winter. And it's helpful, the roads last a lot longer. So I suggested that to Kyle, and so this was his solution, was this type of a crack sealer that I believe is a tow behind.
There's a toe behind, it's got a heated hose on it, it's what the pros use. It's a no-brainer if we're gonna go this route to crack seal. We
How
would-
fast can we get one?
Well, we could get one.
Have it by fall?
We can get, once the budget's approved and the board approves the budget, I'll order it Tuesday after the board meeting. We'll probably have it that week or the week after that.
Okay, just, I didn't know if there was.
And if we farm.
Cause I'm 100% behind that.
Yeah, because we talked about it when we were together, honestly, one of those questions,
Mhm.
one of those was that. If we had to farm that out, this would be.
It's a waste,
Tens
it's
of
a waste,
thousands-
yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
you know, you're gonna pay tens of thousands of dollars, and then the next year you're gonna be right back in the same boat.
And you can allocate the guys and their time.
Budget.
Exactly.
We would
We
make
need to
time
drag
for it,
these-
yeah.
Exactly.
Life
This-
was in
If we can
city.
make our, even if we can make our roads last, 5 years longer. It was, I think Sleepy Hollow was $300,000,
I thought it was
No, it was a million.
$1 million.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was a million.
Yeah, so if we can get, five more years out of it, just like sealing the.
Where
cracks.
are you seeing the cracks on? Just
This
as you
is-
come into our
Just when you Come
section?
into our section, yeah, on the east side of the street.
That's why
That's,
I am so concerned about our shoulders
Yeah.
on that $1 million road, that I think we really need to be. All of us pointing out issues that
Yeah.
we see erosion quickly.
yeah, so it's where the side drops off rather
Yeah.
quickly.
Well, I think when they.
Okay, I know
they
exactly what
maybe
you're talking
extended it
about.
a little bit, didn't they, potentially?
What?
So they extended a little bit?
Not really.
No,
No.
I mean, that's gonna be weaker if they did, but my question with the Kyle, and I want you to hear it, Phil, is they're gonna allocate the time to use it, not just collect the crack sealer and put it, okay, so.
Okay,
Yeah, so for Kyle, with the time that's ideal time to do this is between cutting the grass and plowing the snow.
Mhm.
So it gives them something to do in that.
It's nice because we don't have to rush through it. We have the machine. It's a nice day out.
you see a problem, you identify it, you
Yeah.
fix it.
And you can't use that for like roads. that
Do
are
we have
completely
storage
crashed.
for it?
It'll be tight, but yeah, we'll make the storage work with
I'm
it.
saying a road that is really far gone, you can only do so much with that, right?
We'll seal the cracks. I mean, it will help. It'll make a difference on every age of road. I mean, obviously, there are some where, you're basically putting a Band-Aid on something that needs stitches.
Another story.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is the cost of the pull behind unit, the material and the labor will come out of your maintenance.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we good then with the 5-year cap?
I'm doing your 5-year cap, and just to highlight, these are the balances that you're gonna see them.
Yeah.
Cause they run out.
And that's assuming that we're putting in $200,000 every year. I do have to say that this is much better than when I first started. We were actually in the negative.
There was no.
When we projected out. on
Before
the
you,
5-year.
you came to the village.
Before I came to the village, yeah.
Well, this also ties into some of the stuff we're talking about with the water main project.
This is
If you-
completely
Well,
separate.
no, my point is if you're allocating money for the future, you will not be,
Yep.
you'll be in a better place when it goes down.
Yep.
Okay.
Can we take a quick break, Stephanie?
Sure. Quick break for anybody who has to use the facilities.
No, it's you're anything how long, it's the lead time. You're getting, I can see a fire engine or maybe a fire, even a police car.
COVID really screwed everything up.
Yeah, I was in the car business, so I know.
Yeah.
News, but you would think they'd be a little more aggressive right now because.
So all of my current trucks are international. And the new one we're getting them back. Because the international guy when I called him to ask for a price, he won't give me a price. I'm on a wait list with him to give me a price. And I still have not gotten a price from him.
It seems that there just isn't enough of those guys doing that. They have that
Right,
attitude.
the municipal sales guy,
To go
the
there.
international's municipal
Yeah,
sales guy,
yeah.
it's one guy,
Yeah,
and everybody in this area has to go through him. And if you call international,
Right.
say, hey, I need to talk to somebody else. No, this is their guy.
and you said Mac is another alternative,
Mac is gonna be the truck that we ordered.
but like F4 is fairly straightforward, F-250, it's over Fords, correct?
Yes, yeah,
You would think timeline could be.
that's not a problem.
maybe-
No,
Okay.
that's not a problem. The F-250 won't be a problem when I order. It's just it's the 450 and the Mac or International hybrid, because they have to put the hydraulic packages on it. And then they build the stainless, like the new one's gonna have a stainless steel
Stainless.
back box.
They help rusting basically.
Are your
Yeah.
windows, Keith?
I never open them. Cause I worry if I do open them, they may not close, so I don't take the chance.
Thermal paint?
They're all the same, these are all,
Yeah.
they're all these same windows.
That could be the most expensive project of all. Yeah, we better. We're running a little bit late there.
Yeah, Shirley's gonna be upset.
Nine.
Tonight's Bunko night, so Barry will be there apparently to help set up.
Yeah. 'cause
They're awesome. I won't even say anything.
Yeah,
I need.
Yeah.
I would have figured you'd set it up, right?
it's actually already done.
We do everything. The outfitting. and everything. Oh, okay.
All right, what do you want to go through next?
Well, let's do the police, and do the three, and this way the chief doesn't have to stay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'd asked the chief based on the new contract to give me a better number, so. He phoned up the full-time salary line number 67. So that's why it's in the dark green.
67,
Yeah.
67, page 367.
okay. So which version is that? Which one am I looking at? What column was that?
That is.
one in green,
The green
The
column.
green, okay. All right, let's get to that.
$190,000 difference. What did we not have in the best case?
So I look at the best case, I look at basically the 3-year average
Right.
And added just a touch.
touch to it, yeah.
The best case really isn't even feasible to even look at. I mean, it's a contractual agreement, so
How accurate is that
Cases.
number, chief? The
This
743?
is 740.
my number is very accurate.
Okay,
I mean, to the point where I went salary by salary, added the additional.
And you're already anticipating, right? Okay.
Correct. I've anticipated full resources being 8 full-time officers and
And we
That's
are,
eight?
and we are
8 full-time. We're at 7 full-time right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
and looking for an eighth.
yes.
But in reality, depending on how long that takes to backfill, it could be less than that.
The number will most likely be less anyway, only because
turnover.
well, not turnover, but the fact that the full-time officer won't start until. The 8th one wouldn't start until sometime in June, maybe. So you're gonna have at least 1 month of no salary for that full-time officer, maybe more than that.
And then if we lose another officer and then have to replace, there's always gonna be that.
There's a lag.
There's a lag, yeah.
But I mean, to your point, when we thought, it's important that we allocate the dollars, not to mess up the.
Yep.
Okay,
Not to mess up the appropriation.
appropriation.
Again, that's why I say it's, I look at the worst case when it comes to expenses.
Yeah. I'm noticing a trend there.
Yeah,
But full, part-time's going down.
Part-time would, the number would go down because if I have the full allocation of full-timers, then I'll,
Pushes up there.
correct, I'll be able to use the part-timers. Ideally, the way we should be using them, which is, you know, additional coverage on weekends, dedicated traffic cars, things like that.
and it would also affect the overtime too.
Correct.
Okay, so the overtime is going down.
That's coming down.
Well, no, hey,
Well,
Yeah.
it's up a little bit.
it's actually up from the current year. Is there?
Well,
Is
it's
that
up from the
logical?
current year, but it's down from last year's budget. Oh, that's what I.
No, I'm looking at projection. I'm looking at projection. We were at 25 and now we're at 35. Is
Yeah.
that, is there some room in that number to say, could we settle on? If you had the 26,000 for this year going into this year, is that sufficient? For part-time?
If,
Because we're 10 months into the year and we pretty much have a feel for what our year is gonna be. The 26 is what I'm looking at.
so you're looking at the projection of 26?
Yeah,
At 553.
this does have to go up above because we've added the $5,000 per year.
Yeah.
And the cost of the, whatchamacallit, the contract, the 2%.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to be above the 25. So the question then is about how much.
Can we say 30? Is that a reasonable counter?
The problem with undercutting yourself on overtime is if I'm short a full-time officer for any period of time, I'm using overtime a lot of times to cover that. So that would be a little bit, I mean, we can, if I'm fully staffed, I'd be comfortable with that number.
Okay.
But that's the biggest if in the world.
But we are budgeting you to be fully staffed.
Correct.
Right.
We're at the full-time salaries, yes.
So if you're not fully staffed, then that number is gonna be less.
Right, the offset.
Right.
This is gonna be a situation where we're gonna save in one of these numbers, we just don't know which number yet. But we're estimating, or we're estimating high in both, just in case, so we're not.
Well, I think the part that's confusing is the discussion and the paper, the documentation we had specifically mentioned it's down.
Mhm.
And, you know, and looking at this, one could argue it's not. So that's where I'm coming from. I do get the fact that the wages will change and that's part of the play, but
So the budget, the budget for this year was set at 41,000 for overtime. The proposal for this year is 35,000, and that $41,000 figure wasn't based on the higher salaries that we're currently operating at. So it is a substantial change, but if you wanted to drop it by a little bit, I would be okay with it. I can make that work.
You know, they did drop down the part-time by 6,000 too,
right.
and they're dropping this down by another, six.
Right, but we were never in the neighborhood of 41,000.
Right,
You know, so it was great that it got approved at some point.
Yeah.
But then, you know, in my world, it goes back to what is it you actually used
Mhm.
as your baseline. That's why I would propose that we look at, say, 30 or 32. It's not a huge amount of money, but you know, that's still a 20+% lift from the projection.
Yeah, I'll be okay with that. Like I said, I can make that work.
you want to do 30?
Yeah. we'll do it on
Can you?
Line 69, budget proposal go from
That's
35
exactly
to
what I was
30.
gonna ask you,
Yep.
Dean. We're doing this in real time,
I'm doing it
right?
in real time.
Okay, all right.
Do we know, Chief? Okay, so the projection for 26. So we'll end up around full-time, works will end up at $554,000. And we're budgeting 743,000, which is an increase of like 34%. Can that be broken down? How much of that is headcount? How much of that is everybody's increase?
So the projection is based on the fact that we're down 2 full-time officers for most of the year.
Yep.
So that's really the difference. I mean, when you look at the difference between that projection and where we're actually where the budget is.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing to remember is that we were down to full-time people.
and what's a full timer? I know you got it on your sheet here.
Salary is, even if you were to figure just raw
Just
salary,
ballpark, yeah.
71,000, depending if they're, a newer officer, but yeah.
Okay,
And I do look at the 3-year average is running at just over 600, so that tells you we've been understaffed.
Yep.
Definitely, okay.
and Eugene, you mentioned the 5 and you mentioned the contract increases.
Mhm.
And you mentioned that with line item 69. Did I hear you wrong?
No, I mentioned it, yes, because your overtime cost is gonna go up, because your
Okay.
per hour cost is gonna go up.
But the 5 is a one-time payout.
No, the 5 is a salary, a base salary increase.
Increase. But
Yes.
no explanation.
But it's
Yeah.
not.
But that's gonna be in the
Yeah.
full-time line.
That is computed in.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So the bump that we gave and then the additional. Again, it's a guess because the contract still hasn't been approved, but that increase is also in that number.
Okay.
So that number is all inclusive.
But that sunsets in like the course of
No.
less than a year. It's forever?
So this budget figure is what our budget figure would be going forward.
Okay.
When do you think?
I thought
we'll
the
have
raise
that
was the 5,000.
contract again?
We have an agreement in principle. We're just waiting for
The official.
the bargaining unit to
Before May
sign it
1st.
and then,
If we
It would
had,
be before May 1st.
we had expected it last week,
yeah, we're still waiting, but
Okay,
yeah.
but you guys are comfortable, the numbers look
yes,
like
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Deferred comp, can we explain? You've got calculated includes IMRF.
Right, so with the 457, that is an 8% figure, I believe. In the IRMF, the last quote we got was 11.1%. So this is based on the 11.1% of salary. And this, I think, also included the part-timers, but what we would try to do is not include the part-timers in it. So this would be the max that we really believe that we would end up having to pay out.
Okay, and the advantage if we say, because we've had that conversation. Because that's a substantial, for the police, that, it's a substantial number.
Yes,
And actually for all 3 years, there's 3 dimensions of it. I would hope that if we could, there'll be an allocation issue or a appropriation issue. If we don't.
if we
approve
don't
it.
do it, yeah.
But I would ask, is it protocol to at least advise people that we're including, $60,000-$70,000 of IRF funds?
Yeah, it's,
Because they won't know that.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way, I've never had a single person question me about any line item on the budget.
Okay. Okay. I just think it's important that we are able to kind of
Yeah.
segregate that
We can-
into,
Right,
like, this includes X,
Yeah. right, when we go to approve the budget, I'm gonna say is that this is based on my worst case scenario figures. So that when we do the appropriation, we're gonna be well within it. And this also, if we hit better than my worst case scenario income figures, it's gonna give us a lot of extra room for the 5-year cap. It's like, last year, I was able to transfer $968,000. When we only planned on transferring 200,000. Because of the savings that we've had in the individual lines and the better income than was expected.
What would that number be, if we are still, for the entire year, if we're still on the current retirement plan and not the IMRF? What would that number be?
Are you talking about the?
The 92, where you have 92 now?
Okay,
well, I figured our numbers was close to
And
50.
the other question I have, is, are we taking out 457 for the whole fiscal year? 27?
okay. I can only look at
Yeah.
it. I can only
One
look
at a
at
time.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it would be basically $60,000
Okay.
for just 457.
The 92,552?
Would come to $60,000.
Oh, really?
Well, we've got additional
If
full timers, we've
it
got,
comes to $60,000 when I take out the part-timers and I drop it down to the 457 plan.
Yeah, the difference is about 30 something thousand.
30.
dollars.
Okay.
What we're paying is
50 when we were talking.
Yeah, between what
So,
we're
but
paying.
one will preclude the other, once you.
Right, you can only have one, you can't have both.
So the other thing too, that's we're gonna save a little bit if this goes forward is. This is assuming that IMRF was to start May 1st.
Mhm.
It's physically impossible
Is that
for
right?
it to happen.
Right.
The absolute earliest we'd be looking at starting this based on their cycle would be September 1st. So you're gonna save May, June, July, and August. So basically a quarter of the year, or a third of the year is gonna be saved in that cost. So
And that's in the 92.
that is not, that 92 figure.
You're figuring every month.
Is the
of
whole year.
Fiscal year.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So we're gonna save about a third of that number, so it may be as high as $30,000 difference.
Yeah.
Based on when it's gonna implement it, so.
My
But that
question-
30 grand difference, I'm sorry, Bill,
No, go ahead.
is the difference between 11.1 and 8.
And taking out the part-timers.
Right, you have
So-
set rules.
Yeah,
Yeah, with IMRF, you have to pick whether or not you want a 600-hour threshold or a 1,000-hour threshold, and it's anticipated hours that the person will be scheduled for. If we set and I would recommend we set our threshold at 1,000 hours, we do that, basically, none of our part-time people would be eligible, with the exception of maybe Sharon for IMRF.
But
And-
we allow everybody 457, even part-time?
no,
Part-timers.
just the full-timers.
What I was gonna say, there's steps from, where we stand now to actually getting into the IMRF.
So
Yeah,
what we
then
have to
we'll-
do, so we would have to do is we have to do an actuarial study, which
Right,
I haven't proposed that yet until we get all the salary stuff solid, and then we can do the actuarial study. Once the actuarial study is done, that figure comes back to the village, they give us our rate. That rate is then locked in for 2 years, so we'll know what that rate is for 2 years. Then the village has to approve that we're gonna go forward with IMRF. Once they do that, it goes to IMRF's board. IMRF's board then has to approve it. They only meet every other month, so the next meeting. Most likely the next meeting that we would be in front of their board would be August. The pension then doesn't go into effect until the first of the month following that meeting. So it would be September at the absolute earliest.
I think I asked this before, but I just want to restate it. I think it would behoove us to actually, the general, public here, whatever, the lay people, to have the advantage of having a presentation to understand it more.
Sure.
And then I do have a question on whether this is a referendum requirement on this or not.
No, there's 2 different ways you can institute IMRF. If you were going to downstate pension, which is the police pension that I retired from, that has to go to referendum, that you have no choice. But if you are doing IMRF could be by referendum, or it can be out of your budget.
We already have a line item on the tax bill for pension,
Right.
and what we use it to pay social security.
That's, we were confused
Yes.
by that too.
Yeah, so the way the tax bill says it is pension, but the categories of everything that falls under it is far more expansive. They only got X number of characters to use.
Does that cover all of our social security?
No,
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
just,
Not that
yeah,
big.
yeah,
So just defray some of the costs.
yes,
Right.
yeah,
And that's our mapping.
yeah.
If we
Yeah, nothing on the tax bill covers anything. It's just a portion of it. I think the closest thing probably would be street lighting.
Okay. Any further, Bill? Keep moving.
I have a question, gasoline, you and I talked about it, Gene.
Mhm.
What was it, 19, then it was 14, I mean, I.
Line number 95.
95, I have a hard time thinking we're gonna get it. It's going down, I mean, maybe we should stick with the 19.
Okay. I
the
like,
future is unclear here. right
Yeah,
now.
Right.
yeah,
And I've kind of, when I first started here, I think we were budgeting at 28,000 a year for fuel, because we were buying it in Casey.
Casey's.
And then we had the fuel pumps put in, and we've saved a substantial amount of money with that.
What do you think we're paying a gallon now?
I'd have to look at the last bill.
Yeah.
But they only add, it's like a $2 or $1 to the wholesale cost, and I mean, the difference between what we're paying retail versus wholesale, it's substantial.
It's gotta be a
For
problem.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're
And
looking,
deliver
I
it.
mean, if we're
Yeah.
looking at a projection, if my eyes are,
That was a smart.
I think we're sitting at what, 18? Am I in the wrong?
Yeah, the 3-year average is 18. Right now, our projection is 13.
Yeah, I mean, I have a sense that we'd be hitting ourselves if we were at 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I want to just jump back up to line 72, health life. That's going down. What was the reason? Chief,
So,
maybe?
so that's in direct relation to, the amount that we pay for the insurance for employees. So one of the employees that left with, he was older, and he also had, a family member in there. So it's more expensive to insure somebody like that. We replaced that person with a younger officer, no family. So
Gotcha.
that helps, when we go forward with those numbers.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
that's kind of I don't want to say it's a guess, but it is, because we could hire an officer that's got a family. I'm just
Right.
most likely not gonna hire one that's, gonna be that.
And we,
older, so.
first or second officer, that's gonna be leaving, that also has a very high insurance rate.
Right.
And line 75 is just the deductions. The payroll deductions against the cost.
It's how you really control it. It's not part of your hiring decision.
Of it.
It can't be part of my hiring decision. I always go, I always hire the best person for the village regardless.
When is that Tesla patrol car coming?
We gotta get it charged.
My son works for Tesla, believe me, he's trying to sell me on a Tesla control car, so. They're working on it. The problem is the everyday beating up that goes on those types of vehicles, and there's a couple of departments that have used them, but they haven't really caught on nationwide.
Do we have a new squad car coming into the fleet this year?
That would have been on the 5-year.
That was on the 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Just brought in the line.
So the one we're replacing is the 2020 hybrid. That was one of the very first ones that was bought, the new model of Ford. It's out of warranty now. As a matter of fact, it was out of warranty. April 1st is when it finally fell off. It's got about 80,000 plus miles on it. Hybrids tend to get problematic if you're using them every day, and they're very expensive to fix.
Are we still moving forward with hybrid or are we?
I have not so I was part of the original group that bought the very first hybrids that rolled off the assembly line. I'm a little bit tainted because we had 2 of them, and the first year that we had them in service, they were in the back parking lot for 186 days. Unusable. So I don't want to take a chance with our fleet of just 4. I can't take a chance on a squad car, not being usable for us. So that's the reason I haven't done the hybrids.
It didn't pay for itself is what I have found in
No.
my experience with hybrids.
Yeah, not at all. They're about $10,000 to $12,000 more per unit. And the fact that we're buying our gas wholesale now, it wouldn't pay. And it would only pay for us if we were to keep the car for 8 years. You never keep a squad car for 8 years. So, yeah, definitely.
Is there ever a lease option on any of that? Only because a lot of times that's the best way to get rid of those cars before they become.
There are some lease options, but generally not for patrol cars. Or like administrative cars.
Commercial.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely.
cutting holes in them, so putting.
Yeah, you're destroying it basically. Yeah, okay.
So one of the things I want to do is take that car out of patrol, replace my squad car, the one that I take home, my take home car. I'll take the hybrid, which will save us a little bit of gas going back and forth here. It's not the same wear and tear. And then we'll sell my 2017 Taurus, which will probably get between 7,500 and 9,000 for. So that'll go back into the general fund as well.
So this one that's on the list here has been ordered.
I don't have to order it. I've got a source in central Illinois that I get our squad car from. Yep, I can get it.
Whenever you need it, it's like a
Absolutely.
call. Okay.
Absolutely.
There was a time when we had to order it. There was a 3-year backlog or something.
Yeah, there was, I found this person because I couldn't find a squad car anywhere else. And I found this person talking to another chief in Southern Illinois, said, hey, this is the guy you need to reach out to. They fill more squad covers than anybody in the state, and it's.
Yeah.
The dealership's as big as this building.
Since Bentonville was going to Ohio to buy their cars, they bought 6 cars all at once from Ohio, just to get them.
For a long time, we couldn't get them.
It's a-
Yeah.
Just the department have a standard, we keep it 60,000 miles, we keep it 3 years, do we have a standard that we use?
So I don't generally go on years. What I do is go on mileage and
Yeah.
warranty. So I started buying the extended warranties on these cars
Yeah.
as soon as I got here. And I keep them and now I'm getting them warranty through 125,000 miles. So we're covered, we're covered on these, and our expenses are pretty low.
And what's, what am I looking at here for ours? You said the vehicle for next year.
Yeah.
That's
It's in here.
That's the 69.
That's the 61.
Right.
51, 44.
51, 140.
Been here, Willie.
On. I was on the wrong, okay.
But those extended warranties,
Okay, and it
you've
looks
done
like-
the math.
Okay.
And we get our money back and then some.
But
That's all I wanna
probably
Yeah.
3 times what we paid.
Yeah, we pay $100 to have a $5,000 transmission replaced.
Yeah.
You know,
And we just had a transmission rebuilt actually on the hybrid. It was coming out of warranty and Ford checked it and found a leak, and they ended up having to rebuild the transmission for us, and it cost us $100. So that paid for the warranty itself.
I would just say that we continually to track that somewhere, cost versus savings. Because personally, I don't believe. in extended warranties.
car guy.
I don't believe them. Somebody's making a profit there.
well.
But it's a different animal. That's a
Yes.
squad car.
Police squad cars take a lot of
They do,
abuse.
they do.
They
So I'm
came
not
up-
saying I'm an expert.
Yeah, they came up with the idea in Chicago. What they were gonna do is get a 3-year lease for the vehicles. And then at the end of the 3 years, they're gonna, sell it back and get another one until the first group went through and there was no resale value. Because if a car lasts 18 months, they're doing good. Yeah.
So when I am back to the 5-year gap, I'm looking at that. That's why I was confused. We have placeholders for like 61,000 for the next several years.
Yes, so
Are we planning on like every year, or is this?
yes,
Okay.
the history of the village was to replace a car every single year. Chief chose not to replace one this year, but I felt we needed one next year.
And then based on the age of our fleet, the age, the mileage, the fact that every car is now gonna be under warranty, we should be able to skip 28 as well.
Okay, that's, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
if we're changing our strategy,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yep.
But again, we have to have it in there just in case,
Okay.
we total a car and, we need to replace it.
Yep.
Okay,
All right,
all right.
so
Are we-
to put a pin in it,
Okay,
And
we're gonna do $1.4 million.
for police. Yeah,
Before are we done with police? We're gonna go back to administration.
well, we haven't even started that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing police
We
so that
skipped
they,
from 5 year to.
so that they can leave.
Unless you wanna stay, chief.
I'm okay staying and listening. I'll add my opinion on, you guys know me, I'm not afraid to add my opinion, so.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, I just didn't want to have to make them stay if they've got other things to do.
Sure.
so the biggest.
So we're back to page 1, right?
Well, we could do Kyle.
Oh, you gotta go somewhere, Kyle?
Kyle,
This has been a
Kyle
board
is,
discussion, so.
Kyle is usually just about out the door at this time.
Let me, where we go?
Sorry for my
So we're
oversight.
saying The million 430 is the number we're gonna use.
That's who called me, the truck
So
people.
when you give this
Yes,
to the trustees, that's $1,800. Okay.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah.
What was it, motor mounts?
Fuel pump and fuel regulator.
But that's good.
It's awesome.
It's beautiful.
That's a win.
That's good news. That's good news.
Well, it's a truck that just won't die.
Okay, so we're, what, Parks and Recs, or which part of
yes,
this?
it would probably be page 4.
All right, page 4, everybody there?
And you and I talked about this,
Mhm.
because we asked about how do you split the headcount expenses?
Mhm.
And it's seasonal,
It's,
basically.
it's historical, so, Kyle had estimated how much time he spends in each one of the areas. And then with every paycheck, Sharon breaks it up based on, what the historical data showed.
Okay, so where do you want to start, Bill?
Well. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that question, Bill. Could you repeat that?
No, I wanted to get my head around this.
The breakdown of the salaries.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So, I know this would probably have to be a bill approval and promotion for Dylan Anderson.
Well, that's built into this,
It is.
yes.
Yeah,
By us,
This is, if we recommend this budget, we're also recommending the
it's the
promotion
worst case.
for, yes,
but will that be
Well, no.
discussed at the board meeting for board?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that, what we're gonna say is that, approving this budget approves the promotion for Dylan,
What's the funding for him?
the funding for his
But-
promotion.
Yes, because we're not
The board
recommending the
approves
promotion.
the promotion.
That's not our job.
No,
right?
Yeah,
we're approving,
exactly.
we're
Yeah,
approving
keep
the
it
budget, but we're
clarification.
recognizing it includes a promotion for
Correct.
Dylan.
Exactly, okay, right.
Okay,
Okay, and then we have, are you good with those numbers, salaries, guys?
deferred comp again, we're including it
Yep.
for
It's nominal though.
3 people? Would that be right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Da, 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 da. And
How
Sal,
about the maintenance line item?
maintenance
what
supply,
line number?
19,
119,
That's village village property.
yeah. Are you
That's
talking
still
maintenance
The
supplies?
22 grand?
Well, are we done with parks?
well, let's stick, let's kind of roll through one at a
I don't see
time.
anything else
I
there.
was kind of the opinion, we're done with park.
Yeah, it's pretty big, it's pretty cut and dry, yeah.
Yeah, and the only question I was gonna say is like most of these was salary that would
Mhm.
include
Mhm.
the raises.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay, village property, maintenance, other, is that what you're asking
Yeah.
for? So maintenance other would be anything. Tree related, if I have to bring out a contractor to do some tree removal or tree trimming. That's a big portion of that.
Which we have.
why is that bumped up this year? If you had plans to do some stuff?
There's a lot of dead trees, and costs are going up. A tree now, of decent sized tree is now about $4,000 to have removed. It's becoming an extremely expensive endeavor.
We've had to, because of the storms, we've had to remove several trees that we did not anticipate.
It's gonna cost me $20,000 to remove 3 trees.
How much?
$20,000.
Wow.
Ouch. Ouch.
That's a low amount.
And we have to pay prevailing wage, I think. we have.
Does Red Oak give you prevailing wage?
Yes,
Wow.
and I don't really use them much anymore. It's a problem with their payment. The guy needs a check.
Before
He's hounding me for the check, and it's like, no, I can only pay you on Tuesdays twice a month.
Yeah, it's a little different.
So I usually just call other people.
Okay,
So historic, like we're on pace to spend like low fives, basically, this year projected, and historically, we're at 11.5, but we're looking at 22.
I try to do as little as possible as far as contracting out tree removals, but it's a piggy bank I want just in case we have a good microburst coming to town. And that's why
We don't have, like to Barry's point, there's not a backlog of stuff that
It's planned.
that's planned.
Correct, yeah. There's not a huge backlog. I have ideas of some areas that'd be problematic, but it's,
How much of Sleepy Hollow Road do you do just as a maintenance thing every year? You have to.
well, Sleepy Hollow Road, if it's along the road like that, that would be out of the street,
Yeah. Okay.
fund.
Okay.
good. With Village,
I mean, I guess the question on that is if you don't use it, you don't use it.
Right.
Well, let's just make note that if we don't get killed with storms, we've got $12,000.
Yeah.
That we can look at our bottom if it's negative and say, take
I
that
mean,
out.
those are the kind of notes that I'm saying will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, streets and highway.
Deferred comp again, that's in there, you know, the story on that.
FYCI fund, 200 grand, is that
I think that's the,
line 149, Eugene?
Yeah, so but that's actually not part of streets, that's part of the general budget, but because it falls there in the numbering system. So that's what we hope to transfer over every year,
5-year cap.
the 5-year cap. What we can do is we have done it in the past, is set that at 0. And so then we'll have a positive number, but then at that point, we're saying we're not planning on transferring anything over for budget purposes.
but planning and then still being able to do it, and that's
Are not
two
the same
separate
thing.
issues.
Yeah.
You're not precluded from doing it.
Exactly.
I would prefer not allocating, planning, no, saying we can do 200 and holding yourselves to it.
Right.
I would prefer not to.
So, well,
Yeah,
what would happen is on this chart here,
Yeah,
if that is the case, I would take this $200,000 out. And
right.
so then it would just lower all these balances over here, but we would still have a positive fund balance for the next,
well, yeah,
projection.
it would take it out of the 5-year cap fund, but
Yeah.
it would be, the other fund would be higher by 200 grand.
Right,
But then
Yeah.
you could turn around and actually put it in or more. Like your
exactly.
point, Put 9.
And can you do that without an approval? Can you? do that?
Right, so what happens is that the 5-year cap is our savings account.
Yeah. Okay.
So at the end of the year, after everything is paid, everything is all correct. Take a look at 3 to 6 months of our expenses. And I say, this is how much, we averaged on that. And I keep that in the checking account, okay? Then everything else gets moved over to the 5-year cap.
And once it's there, it doesn't
it
come
stays.
back.
It doesn't
Right,
come back.
right.
The only time it comes back is when we've agreed to spend something off of it.
right, you got an allocation.
Yes.
Okay.
I propose that it's
Yeah.
not carry the 200.
So
It's-
eliminate the 200.
It really is, it's sort of.
Yeah.
Takes away from the balance. You have to get that out of there to see what's really happening.
So that means we would have a positive balance of $41,173.
And so I think that's better than we were last time.
For just streets and highways.
That's the one.
No, for the entire general
Entire
fund.
general fund.
General fund, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we also,
You with me, Bill? You know what I mean?
Where are you seeing the general fund?
That's this,
What page? Very bottom?
yeah. So this red line at the bottom is the entire general fund.
That's it's cascading
Yeah,
through.
all the way.
I got you.
And Gene's changed some numbers. So
Yes.
We're not gonna have the same number.
Right, yeah. So these brown lines are for that section. The purple line is the total of the expenses. The red line is the combination
Yeah,
of the
basically.
income and the expenses.
Okay.
Okay,
so if we figured any, and it's just cotton math, have we figured anything for any sales tax revenue for any of the 2 new businesses that are currently
No,
not pumping anything in yet?
no, because we have no idea
Yeah, we can't even guess at that.
exactly.
I think that's what we're gonna get in the general fund, our administration in the beginning, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, I can paint a real rosy picture and say, you know what, 1001 is gonna be booming and it's gonna give us $100,000 in revenue. And then at the, April 30th next year, they're still not done.
Right.
And see, that's what happens in Chicago is they paint the rosy picture for income. And so they increase their expenses and then that income doesn't materialize. And what I'm trying to do is say, this is what I really believe our income is going to be. Let's try to stay within that. And in the end, we'll come out okay.
What else we got?
So that would be it.
hey, just
And
one
I-
question, guys, the health insurance premium deduction, is that the amount that the employee is in?
Yes,
Okay, just clarifying.
Yeah. we charge them a small amount and so that it helps defer a little bit of cost.
And we talked about like the proportion that they pay is real competitive to surrounding communities.
It's about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're within a couple dollars of.
Yeah, I mean, proportionally, it's
Yeah.
was it 90-10 or 80?
Yeah, our health insurance is adequate for
Yeah, I think
what other towns are doing.
family is 15%.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. Our insurance costs are higher because we have a much smaller pool. There is a possibility that I can't remember what the name of it is, but there's a larger pool we could become part of that might save us costs. But the problem is that I guess we have a preference for Blue Cross Blue Shield. In order to get into that pool, we would have to drop Blue Cross Blue Shield and go to Humana for at least a year before we could go back to them to get into that pool. Blue Cross will not allow us to go into the pool and stay with Blue Cross.
Did you quantify that in savings?
No, I haven't gotten any, exact figures on that yet.
But I think you guys looked at it, the board looked at that
Yeah.
option
We
and said, we'd
can't,
rather
yeah.
keep the top shelf coverage.
Yeah, exactly. So
Closer to
we have always said is that, we can't pay top dollar salaries, but we can at least give adequate insurance.
Right.
And so that's why,
Okay.
yeah, and some people are happy with Humana, but I think more people have been happier with the Blue Cross Blue Shield. And, I don't want to force anyone to have to change.
How much work would be involved in quantifying the savings?
I'd have to contact the other company and.
Could that be a
probably do
day
an
two
announcement.
item?
Huh?
Could that be a day two item like?
Yeah.
Not for now.
For
Yeah.
next year's. fiscal year.
I could ask.
I mean, you brought it up.
Yeah.
So now I can't not hear that.
Yeah,
I think it's in the minutes.
If only it was possible.
yeah.
I guess, bottom line is, man, that's why I want to have a finance committee on just revenue. And that's all we're gonna talk about, because if we don't put our heads together,
Well, it
eventually,
starts with bringing.
we're not bringing enough in to pay for all
Bring
these
it in
raises.
before you can start being creative.
All right,
Okay, so are these guys
Well, these
What
guys are
able
done.
to go?
I got water and sewers.
I was gonna say,
hey, what did the final number go to again? I'm sorry, it went from
Thank
163
you.
negative to positive
So
40,
41,173.
41.
No, I'm just trying to move along.
Thank you.
That's why it'd be him. He's only got one budget item. I got
Yeah,
4 pages.
yeah.
You're special.
Okay, so let's see if we can get through the waterworks.
But we can do
MFP.
MFP.
That's fine, that's a quick one.
So basically what it is we get X number of dollars from the state. And we get that figure from IML, and then we try to budget for about what we have for that. We also take in 120,000 or up to 120,000 from the 5-year cap to maybe do a little bit bigger projects.
We do that every year.
We try to do that every year. Some years we can do it, some years we can't. Again, we can use that 120,000 from the 5-year cap towards the Hillcrest culvert, because it's also underneath the road. But unless we have some really bad sections of roads that needs to be replaced.
But this is basically a number that's given to us.
It's a number given to us,
And-
and we have to stay within it.
And I'm kind of looking at it, the numbers you picked are historically consistent.
Yep.
So.
And with gas going up, do we get
And there's, I
more?
was gonna say, is there a change anticipated?
Maybe.
Depending on how long the.
Depending on, right,
Duration.
it depends on how generous the state wants to be. So what the IML does, it's the Illinois Municipal League, is they have all their accountants and all their people and, projecting where they think we're gonna be and what we think we're gonna get from the state. So they've kind of got the inside scoop, and they're saying that, they think we're gonna get $46.42 per resident. And we've got 3,214 residents. And so that's how that number is generated.
It's something that we should look for long term, because that number is just gonna.
I think it doesn't
increase
keep
less and less.
declining. I
Well,
think-
people buy electric cars, they're not going to the gas pump.
Yeah. We were talking about, they were maybe looking at a different way, I think you said this one, about looking at almost households versus people or a different way of
I think that's,
calculating.
that's something
else.
that's different. This is the state. So the state pays, there's certain things the state pays out on by population, and the population figures are set whatever the census is. Now, there are some communities that have a growing population. And what they'll do is they'll invest a couple $100,000 to have another census taken to boost those numbers so that they'll get more money from the state.
So I have to wait for the 4 year.
So you don't have to wait for the
Census.
next census. Well, we're in a situation where we've lost probably 100 people from the previous census. Okay, so us to go out and spend $100,000 is not gonna help us.
But, you know, with what the state has done and as far as charging for plates for electric cars, they were trying to recoup some of that back.
Yep.
Is it anywhere written that we get some of that?
No.
late fee?
No, this is one of those things where the state gives us what they decide they want to give us.
It should be written, shouldn't it? That we get X%?
So that's the story of LGDF. For decades, the villages got 10%.
Whatever they collected at the.
Whatever they, no, this is for the LGDF, the local government distributed. So the state always gave us 10%, and this came out of
This is what
the,
you're talking about.
this came out of our taxes, our income taxes, okay? State ran out of money. Well, we're just gonna take it out of the LGDF. And it was, in the low or the mid 5s to 6% range.
That's what we get now.
No, that's what we got. That's what we were getting then. And all of the municipalities scream, well, you just took half of our revenue away. And so we've been fighting to get it back. So we're up in I think the low 6s right now, or mid 6s. And the governor just came out and said that, well, I'm gonna cut this again. Okay, since in the past 11 years, we have lost $4 million. That the difference between what we should have gotten and what we actually got.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow. So we have lost over a year's budget because of the state government, and they can do this with any of these things at any time.
You're pretty much beholding.
So just because they say that they're gonna give it to us, doesn't mean they're actually gonna give it to us. It's like these grants that they give us. Well, you pay for it first, and then we're gonna decide if we're gonna give it to you. It is a long, hard process to apply for these grants and stuff like that. They say, okay, well, we're gonna give it to you. And then when it comes time to get the check, they don't want to give it to us.
When do you think we'll get the 200?
Well, we gotta do the project first. I applied for it 2 months ago. And I'm still waiting to hear.
And we need to send them the bill.
We need to send them the bill, show them that we paid it.
Well, I will have lived through that from the moment I got the call from Suzanne Ness saying we got 200 grand.
Yeah.
The day we see it, and I'm gonna note that for
So
the record.
when I started in June, it was in July that Ness told President Pickett that we were getting $200,000. We got it last year.
You love it, but boy.
Yep, yep. So with these $200,000 grants is feel good money. It's just so that
Testify.
the representatives can say, look at this good thing I'm doing for you, but you really don't get it. Or if you
You have
do
to
get
spend
it,
it.
it's
You're
gonna
gonna
be
take.
years down
What
the
if they
road.
what if they don't get reelected?
Then, exactly,
That doesn't put that in jeopardy.
yeah, it can.
That's why it behooves you to.
Well, when are we gonna have that done? By November, I hope.
So, yeah, so that's why, so we're in a better position now, because the last time is that. So what the state does is it creates I forgot what it's called, but they create a pot of money. So it took them 2.5 years to create that pot of money to give us the grants. This time, at least, they created that pot of money a lot quicker. and they opened it up so we could actually apply for it. Cause you know, I went 2 years with trying to see who do I need to talk to get this money, and I kept getting the runaround.
I think election will help that. So I think there's more.
Maybe
More
that's why you
motivation.
saw it.
Yeah,
More motivation to, so here's
Yep.
what I did, they can actually deliver, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving. We are at the 2 hour.
Yep.
Time frame.
So the
breaking this-
5-year
breaking
cap-
Sweat here,
the 5-year cap is just a repeat of what we had just gone through.
okay.
So then, the DIE is the $1 million for Hillcrest. That's kind of an in and out.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, you had, a best case was 6 and we knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, good, all right,
Okay,
question.
so water.
Okay, start should go.
waterworks operating maintenance.
So what I did is I added the 660,000 for the $50 fee to the, from the homes that we.
That's the green box.
That's the dark green box.
And that's, and just to reiterate the obvious.
Yeah.
We will have a line item
Yeah.
specific to the fees.
Exactly. I said water loan fees. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to create an account number for it.
Yeah,
And
do you do that or do you have to
I do.
farm out for it? Okay.
No, I can
Okay,
do that.
because everything's got a code or a number.
exactly,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't want to have to rework this sheet just
Yeah,
just for this purposes.
it's fine.
That's good to hear. You can quickly do that.
Yeah.
You can always transfer it,
Yes.
2
But,
months.
but there's no issue with the $1 million that we've been reserving for the 30 to be used for this project.
Right.
Okay,
Even though we have it line items separate.
No. So what happens is you're gonna see that in here. If you go to transfer to reserves, line number 235.
Yep.
That's the $1 million coming out of the water operating and maintenance fund going to the DIE fund.
What?
So that it comes out
It's on the
on line
back page.
235,
No, it's page before.
There it is.
and then it goes in on line 178.
Got it.
right.
Okay.
It's just an accounting for it, basically.
Yes, yeah,
And we're gonna call it two different things for each line item. We're gonna call one a demand and one a
yes, yeah.
infrastructure.
That's why that's why I separated it out. So the water sales is the demand and the usage combined. I'm estimating about 650,000 gallons at $10 a thousand. Plus 12 months at $30 the demand fee times 1,052 customers.
Is that a new number? 1,052?
No, it's about, that's about right.
I've always been using 1,050. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
1,052.
cheering for you to find
Yeah.
more numbers.
1,052 is probably closer.
Okay,
We've added on, I think, 2 water customers in the last year.
bigger the better.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay, so. And this one, if I'm looking at it right, the one that I had a question on was maintenance utility systems, I think that is.
what number, bud?
That is 256, if I'm reading it correctly. So,
That would be on the sewer. It's not,
We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
We're not sure yet.
so
There is a
the
maintenance
the numbers are in
utility
these
system for
pages.
I thought there was,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's on page 6 of the one for today's meeting. You're talking about line number 208.
Got it.
Is that what you're talking about, Phil?
Got it.
No, I thought it was, well, in my mind, it's.
There's-
a different.
Water and sewer both have maintenance utility system.
So let's double check that line item.
What's a hydrant?
There
Yeah,
it is,
it
there it
is,
is.
because it's the
There it is.
89,824 number.
What's a per
Right.
hydrant replacement? How much is it?
Uh,
5 here.
Hydrant itself is $6,000 and the installation is about $6,000.
12 grand a pop.
So. We think it's gonna go up a little bit, and this space just covers the 5 hydrants we're talking about.
Well, we do that every year, don't
And
we?
maintenance.
A maintenance utility system, yes, but it's also water main repair,
Okay,
B-box repair. Something like that.
This is a situation where we're trying to be proactive in replacing the worst of the fire hydrants.
right.
And we have 350 of them, is that about right? I think,
I want to say 287. I think 287 was the
okay,
I think we've done, what, 10 of them already?
five. Nah, I have 5 waiting to be installed. That'll probably happen within the next half a month. Try to do it by the end of
And will this put us in a place where you convert them all to the same, you had like a preference, you wanted them to all be switched over to certain.
water is hydrants.
And then we'll be there,
and it's gonna take a long time.
it will still
At
take a long
five a
time.
year.
Oh, I didn't know how close we were to the end. so-
No, we're not even.
Okay,
We're just scratching the surface right now.
and obviously, we're not doing
Good to
them
know.
on Hillcrest or Winmore of our projects.
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
The only time I'll do something on Hillcrest is if a car hits it. And then the insurance company pays for it. For the time being, because I have to.
yep,
Did you say you're not putting those hydrants on Hillcrest?
Correct, yeah.
I mean, we have ones planned.
No,
for
the height, yes, so.
We're not
the water main.
replacing the hydrant.
placing is what I meant, I'm sorry.
We're not, this is for the fire hydrant replacement program. For the water main replacement project, the hydrants are included. in
That's
the
part of
price.
it, right? Okay.
Yes, you have to have one every 500 feet.
Thank you.
The difference between our water purchases and our water sales, with that inefficiencies in there, I mean, leakage, whatever, I mean, we're buying a lot more
Well,
than we're selling.
we're,
Sales includes.
the sales includes the demand fee, the,
Well, no, you had 65,000, wasn't that the number of gallons? Top line,
65,000, yeah.
183.
yeah, there's gonna be some leakages. So, the firehouse doesn't pay for water, we don't pay for water here. There's in the leakages and water main breaks, and
How about trustee Hoff? Does he pay for?
I can check.
What?
What are you gonna do?
Okay. Okay, so that's,
So that explains
so
that.
what's the? That's almost 30%, I don't know, what is that?
Well, what's our efficiency?
Well,
It's closer to
so in all-
70, low
Efficiency
70s.
is about 70.
70,
isn't it?
75.
70 lows,
So,
yeah.
so what you also have to keep in mind is that this is in cubic yards or cubic feet.
Um,
And we sell in 1,000 gallons,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
so they're two different figures.
And you corrected the water purchases, thank you.
Yeah,
When I saw 475, I was
Yeah.
thinking we were getting a great deal.
the other correction I had is that it said fiscal year 26 budget, but it was actually the fiscal year 25 budget, so I went through and I changed all those
Okay,
numbers.
oh, okay.
7:30 looked good to you, Kyle?
Yeah, I think that's.
Okay. It's a biggie.
Well, it's in the realm of where we're at. I mean.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Actually on the lower.
So
side of
again,
where
the
we're
thing
at.
we have to keep in mind is when they do the Randall over 90.
Yeah.
Is we don't, we're arguing kind of with Elgin of whose responsibility that line is. And that line can be a pretty penny.
Elgin claims, do you guys remember the 16-sided barn up
Yeah.
on Randall?
Yeah.
Yes,
They claim that we own the main to that area. From basically where it comes in our meters at just north of Jimmy's Char House. So they're claiming that we own all of that main and it goes under I-90. And it starts there.
Well, I know, I asked before, the attorneys pursuing, we're getting a legal opinion on it.
Yeah.
They're haggling back and forth. They've been haggling for a couple of years now on it. But what's also putting kind of a hold on this is they're supposed to be taking out the dam on the Fox River in Elgin, and when they do that, I think they said that their water intake is gonna be 20 feet in the air.
Hmm.
So they have to relocate that, and so we don't know. This is what I was told.
Don't scare people.
So it's just gonna help our building. right?
So it's gonna,
There's a potential for a cost that
there's,
they'll
they'll
pass
pass
on.
on to us.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
they're not gonna eat it. Okay. But,
And the argument with the water main that I'm actually dealing with the resident right now is it's before the meter, so there's something that happens. It's unbilled water that they're sending to us. But it'll be, hopefully something gets worked out.
They're all good to knows. and to be aware of,
Right.
but we can't act on all.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just something to keep in the back of our mind when we're, looking down the road.
Done with page 6?
That was pretty on the bottom.
The engineering services is because of the work we're proposing now.
Yeah.
How much more do you think we have to pay him, Kyle? For the Hillcrest job? I know we've already got some money already spent.
Well, I think he's almost done with he's done with the preliminary engineering, but when they go out for construction, he's gonna be on site every day. Inspecting and. So we'll pay him for that
He's a
too.
percentage of the cost of the project. I don't remember what the percentage is, I think, what, 15% or something like that?
Wow. Yeah, I think somewhere in that
And
ballpark.
that's
I thought it
consistent.
was 10.
Yeah, it's competitive.
I think it's 15.
I'll make note.
Wow, that's like an annuity.
Yeah.
Sort of. And you said Hillcrest, that's the project we're working on. Has he done any specs on the upcoming potential project in a couple of years?
No, not for,
Spoke of
you're
that,
talking
no?
like Windward Drive.
Correct.
No,
Okay.
no.
He did talk about it, I just know how far along he was.
Yeah,
in that
no,
process.
we haven't done any.
We're not deep
engineering
into
on it
that
yet.
yet.
Okay, all right. Just want to know what was in this number.
Mhm.
So even though it's a negative number, it's because we're spending our cash out of our checking account, that $1 million. So when you take that $1 million out, it's actually gonna be a positive number.
Yeah.
And what'll happen is after the project is done, then that comes back into the water fund, but as an asset.
You can
Right.
appreciate.
Right.
That gets
Yeah.
appreciated, yes. So don't be scared with the negative number in the water.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Page 7. Sewage fund. Only other thing that kind of popped up was the maintenance. Line 259, Kyle.
Mhm.
And that's what I was.
Any explanation?
That's anytime we have a contractor come out for a pump failure and they have to suck out the tank. For us to do any maintenance on it, or we redig a tank or replumb a tank, or even rerun electrical wires to the panel box.
Okay, but.
Are you anticipating an
It's double,
increase?
So you got
Yeah.
things planned for this year?
Right.
Or are you just going on the high side
It's
for good measure?
Well,
my budget's the same as the 26 budget, $45,000.
We only spent 24 this year.
Correct. Well, yeah, usually springtime is the busiest time for these systems.
Okay.
So I haven't spent the money yet because people are just now getting out in their yard. This is usually what happens over winter. They have something fail or there's a leak, but they don't know it until they're out and about in their yards and then they call me.
Okay.
So usually about this time is when we get really busy with the sewer system.
But if we're at 24 and then 36 historically and average wise. Is there somewhere between? No,
It's not
35
gonna
and
make a
45, no, okay.
Big enough difference.
I mean, 2 years ago it was 50,000.
You had that, okay, I didn't.
We're getting to the point, so what's going on now is the sewer systems were put in what, the mid-80s. I'm almost getting over the top of having to replumb every sewer tank in town. We were going this way, now we're starting to go this way, where I've replaced more with new plumbing than we have original plumbing on them, if that makes any sense.
We should,
So you have
it's
no
how many
shortage
people
of,
on? I'm sorry, go ahead. How many people that are on?
It's about 147 lift stations.
Do we track it on an Excel spreadsheet by any chance?
Track what?
Each resident and when it was replaced?
I have records of, when we have.
Okay, I would just, And it would be great to see that, because we could then justify what you just said. And you can prove it in paper.
I mean, you have a backlog.
I'm not doubting
I
it.
would like to.
I know you don't have the.
Legally, if we can have an end date to us being the responsible maintenance party for the sewer lift stations. And I don't know if legally we can do it because there was federal funding involved. I have no idea.
There's federal funding and we created a special service area and taxed them on their tax bill for it.
So. we'll get
Yeah, we're-
So the
perpetuity,
sewer-
basically.
Residents have an extra charge on their property.
It's all paid off now. So
Oh.
it had an end date on it.
Okay.
So they had to pay for X number of years.
Okay.
It gave us, it allowed us to get a bond to pay for the installation of the entire system. And then as we collected the money, we paid off the bond. That's where the $525,000 in the sewage, IMAX fund came from, is those are excess funds. So worst case scenario, as these systems start failing, we can use that money to help pay for it. But, we're gonna have to eventually increase the fees to replenish that reserve.
It's an expensive endeavor. Everything on that starts at $1,000. This, the lid for the tank's $1,000. The sewer pumps $2,300. The floats are about $100 a piece. The panel box is $1,000. It's just a,
Money pit.
yeah.
So if I'm looking at it, I mean, just looking at the net for sewer, right?
Mhm.
Is that -65? My eyes are.
Yep.
Okay.
So
So-
part of that is the 27,000 for depreciation. It's a non-cash item.
Right.
So we're still negative. What we really need to do is increase the sewer demand fee. We increased it once. But now I hesitate to increase anything more because we've already increased $50 for the water fund.
Okay. That's what it was catching my eye is.
Yeah.
We.
Well, at least
part
we're
of it
aware.
We're aware of it and
Maybe next fiscal year.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
we get.
we've got to capture what we're spending.
So if you also look at it, there's another 25,000 there in the forward payments. What we did last year is we took the money out of our sewer savings to pay that forward payment. If we want to do that again, we can do that. To help the bottom line, or we can just,
And what is
recognize.
that for exactly?
So what happens is,
You took it out of the reserve.
yes. So what happens is that we ship our waste to West Dundee. They ship it to the Fox River
Reclamation
District, okay? They did improvements and they charged West Dundee. West Dundee was eating a lot of these costs while Spring Hill Mall was going good. When Spring Hill Mall went bankrupt, they started looking at, well, where can we get money? And they said, well, we have to pay this stuff to forward. We're gonna charge Sleepy Hollow based on their amount of.
That's a
sewage
real
that we're
cost.
sending them.
That's a real cost.
That's a real cost,
Okay.
yeah. So it was, they said that this was our fair portion
What
and we're
years?
stuck with it.
How many years have we done it now?
So this is like, I think maybe the 4th year of the agreement or something like that. It goes up for a couple of years and then it starts coming down a little bit. Because they got the loans and stuff like that on a sliding scale.
Right.
And as they get paid off, then it reduces our costs.
And that is purely the 24/5.
That's the 24/5.
And we can just anticipate it's gonna be there for.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've got a schedule and
Wow.
each year I look at the schedule and that's the number I put there.
Okay,
Thank you.
and
I
bottom
think
line,
your question to Eugene is, I think we just leave it there.
Right.
Right.
Just leave it there and because we need to know and we'll cover it, but we need to know that we're in the red.
Right.
so the total bottom number is now, did you reprint it?
No, so each one of these is a separate fund, so I
You
did
didn't
not,
accumulate?
I didn't,
Okay,
Okay, so.
but will it do it as you change it in your system?
not
to
in
give us a
this one,
number?
I have to put that into a different page in order to calculate that out. Let me see if it's. Wait.
And the number is
Well, when it
a positive?
done yet. Oh, for that. Okay.
Yeah. If you were doing really good notes, Bill, you could add that up. I had a
No, I don't
calculator here
really
to
do that.
do it.
Wow.
Pay attention.
I'm willing.
On the camera here, you're saying.
Sorry, I forgot.
It shows $1,173,000 in the hole, but again, you have to keep in mind that.
Wait, give me the number again. 1,000,000.
$173,375. But that includes the $1 million we're transferring over,
Depreciation.
you know, and the depreciation figure.
And at this time, when we did this last fiscal year,
It wasn't this bad.
what was it though? Was it a positive?
Last,
I believe it was positive.
Yeah, we'll take $1 million, that changes things a little bit.
Well, basically, we have 173,000 negative balance. But we got 100,000 in there for this village hall. Now we're down to 73. We got depreciation total of all the departments of what?
It was,
We're positive.
I think this is broken. I'd have to check the links on it.
But not-
It shows it positive, but
Let's not hold him to that, let him.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
think-
no, I won't.
Yeah.
But does this committee have a comfort to recommend a motion to approve today?
Well, we still gotta do the
We're not
administration.
way through it.
I'm sorry,
We still
I
have,
thought I was done.
the revenue. So
I apologize.
Yeah.
We're relieving these
We
guys.
just
Yeah,
look at that.
we just did it so that
detail,
they can leave.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's working till 10 to, 20 to 7 is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going on my,
Again?
I'm gonna put it right on my time sheet.
fix that on Monday.
So what do we still have?
So page one.
Page-
Admin.
So the difference between the last meeting and this meeting is
Yeah.
I actually got figures from the property taxes.
Yeah,
So we're scheduled to get $1,035,132. And that would include the roads and bridges.
And that's property taxes
Yeah.
collected.
The property taxes.
2025.
It's the 2025 taxes collected in 2026.
Thank you.
okay,
We'll take it,
okay. Okay, so
but no tax rate is
Can I-
published yet.
Courtney, whenever you want to jump in, I guess.
They might not have published it, but they set on what everybody's gonna get, and we signed off on it.
Okay. All right.
The next line item was sales tax.
Yeah.
And you and I spoke, and that
Mhm.
went from an original 125 to 170 in the best case.
Yep. So
I-
if you guys want me, I can bump that up to the 170. Or I can,
Well, we're tracking at 166
We're-
now.
exactly.
I mean,
Unless you see a big
what would,
decrease.
There-
I think that number's only gonna go up because as inflation goes up, the taxes go up.
right,
And if Agata actually gets open, I'm really hopeful. That's how I got, like that 170 figure.
okay,
But I didn't wanna guarantee it, because, already at my proposed budget, it was $20,000 above what we did last year. But like I said, I think we're gonna do good. If we say 170.
Yeah.
That is again, a best case scenario.
but it's more closer to the likely
It's
case.
more likely to what we're gonna get,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Courtney, do you have any insight on that or?
Sales tax, no,
Okay,
I wish I did.
well, no, I just didn't want to,
Yeah,
I want to make sure that each,
you
I
have
mean,
markers
I'm at line
as
56.
you go
when you
yeah.
sit down.
during this new fiscal year, that would tell you, okay.
It's-
At this point,
so what happens is that, 1 month, we're gonna get, I think 1 month we got like $80,000. And then other months, we were getting $20,000. And it seemed to have like no rhyme or reason. It's not like I can say that we're gonna get you know, $40,000 every single month.
Right.
And it doesn't follow the business cycle necessarily.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay,
it's,
so-
I
There's
would
no way of
propose
predicting.
we look at 170 then.
And I still don't know when there's.
There, you,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
170?
Well, because we're where we're at now. You know,
I don't know, guys. I think it's a little optimistic.
can pick
well,
a
let it go down.
pick a number.
I'm saying 160 just to be a little hedge.
Oh,
Okay,
well.
all right.
Okay,
I mean, it's,
You have a law with the.
hey, we could be
Mexican
good. Hey, from
restaurant.
what I saw today on CNBC, we could be headed into a recession. Then everybody puckers up and then we don't have all this stuff.
With the guys that are in business now. We'll be in business hopefully for the
Yes.
year. We do have a gap with the Salsa Street new person coming in, so you do list maybe a month or two's income. With three.
Any word on that, Courtney?
Not currently, thank you.
Okay, so 160, I think.
She called. Okay,
He's looking to hear.
Okay,
Well, all I would say on that is let's make a decision sooner than later because if we have to get another one in there while the iron's still hot and there's two other people want the space, let's do it.
that's another meeting.
Okay.
So 160
Send
it
me an
is.
email.
Okay,
160?
yep,
yeah, and the sales tax number
Well,
below that meeting,
non-home rule.
yeah. And you have two different numbers, but
Again, it's, you know, hopeful, you know, based on our projection, it's 110. But again, I don't have any numbers that I can base this on. You see, that's why I like the IML, because that at least gives me an idea of where we're gonna go, but these numbers are just pure speculation.
Leave it at.
leave it 100.
Yeah.
I mean, that historically was just slightly above it, so. I mean, this year would fall slightly
Yeah.
above it. Okay,
Utility tax,
So this is again, one of those situations where more people are unplugging their home phones and stuff like that, and so we're not able to get the money from cell phones. And so that number's consistently going down. And so I'm trying to plan for that.
what's SMTT?
It's SMTP, it's a telephone tax. I can't remember off the top of my head what it means.
are there any plans about getting revenue from these? You know, the stuff like MetroNet that's going in and
We've
the fiber networks.
looked into the streaming tax. It has an unlikely application because instead of just going straight, like, applying it to one bill, you have to go to every single streaming place. Be kind of like when they started off with Amazon wanting to get local sales tax for the things like if you're buying something that's not from Illinois. I think it can have actual application eventually. It doesn't seem that it's consistent yet. There's about 3 towns that I think somebody brought to my attention that haven't employed the streaming tax. I don't know how successful they've been, and they're much larger infrastructures for following up and collecting. But yeah, I've been talking to Mark, Kyle brought it to my attention. He does more than just public works, looking out for money. So we've been going down that avenue, but not currently, no, because of our small stature, although
It's something
There
we
is-
should do.
there
It's-
is
you said
legislation coming
streaming.
up.
It's
Just-
streaming, it would
Not internet necessarily,
It's a streaming service,
It's a
so it would be
streaming
under, it would fall under amusement tax.
but is there a tax we could have on the
You can put a
internet?
5% on, well, Captain Hills has put a 5% on any streaming service you do.
Right.
So the average,
Netflix,
average
Paramount.
American household.
I think it's like the gross tax,
for
you have to
streaming
start at
services.
1% and go up in quarters% increments. And then on top of that, so we also, in about a year's time, there's legislation going on downstate for allowing non-home rule to become home rule, with a vote. There's 2 theories, either dropping the population size down to 5,000, which we still wouldn't qualify, or allowing a 2/3 vote of the corporate authorities to change it. So it's allowing more access to home rule, but then we'd really need to discuss what, if that would provide an advantage for us, or would it just be more regulations and so, yeah, it's all being discussed. Keep listening, kind of post some questions and we can keep discussing it. There's nothing on the immediate horizon, but hopefully next budget round. Maybe there's some.
Who would the corporate authorities be when
Corporate, the board and the president.
of our,
Yeah. So this is an opportunity for someone to get into a really good business.
Thank you.
What you would do is work with all the different streaming companies. And then the municipalities, they would apply to you and you would get the money from the streaming companies and they would just take a portion off the top
for administration?
for administration. I foresee that happening, but not in the near term, but that is the challenge is that you have to go to each individual streaming company, to try to collect it. And in most cases, you know, someone like us, they're just gonna ignore it. But you know, if they have some sort of a company or whatever that does that function, then they would probably do it.
And when you say define streaming service,
Netflix,
I'm talking about
Disney,
the pure internet provider.
no, you can't.
can't,
We
Federal-
cannot.
We cannot. There's a
I
federal-
know I have Xfinity and they do not, so
Yeah.
that was my question.
Yeah, it's a federal law.
Okay,
And actually, that's usually why I always have to leave, actually very soon. Cause Metro West is there's the meeting at 4 o'clock today. Eugene and I both usually are on it, but since he's farther away, I skedaddle. That's an opportunity to do this. It's a collective use where 37 municipalities, large I mean, Lily Lake is much smaller than we are, and it also has Elgin, Aurora, and St. Charles in it. So lots of municipalities. And so when you have that collective, sometimes you can make that sort of thing happen. I'll bring that up with them tonight. See if anybody wants to start.
Is it behoove us at all to investigate what Compton Hills has done to get this being collected already?
Yes.
From my understanding is the streaming service would be the tax collector. They'd have to register with the village. And then they would be the tax collector and then,
They submit it back to us like the gas.
and if they
companies
don't,
and everybody.
we'd have Lauterbach and Amen do an audit. Is my understanding of it.
Well, let me work through this with administrative, legal, and I'll check in tonight with, see if there's any feedback from anybody else who's tried it. Campton Hills is part of, no, Pingree Grove is part of. No, Campton
Campton Hills, yeah,
Yeah.
They're pretty small.
yeah.
They gotta be the same size.
No, they're
bigger than
10,000.
They're
Yeah.
13,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
13.
they're bigger than us.
They had a big boom.
But the streaming tax is a viable option and it's safe from courts now. The city of Chicago really set the precedent. They got sued, they won. It went to the appellate court sided with Chicago, and the Illinois Supreme Court wouldn't hear the case.
So Chicago's already collected?
Chicago's at a 10% streaming tax rate.
Oh.
They've been doing it, I think they started doing it in 2014.
but the challenge and actually the size, we're
Right.
not in a position to do it on our own. We
Is
have to
Compton
be
Hills
collective.
that home like we are,
Yeah, they're not home rule.
They're under 25,000.
Compton Hills?
You know, the situation is that the streaming service can turn around and say, well, if you're demanding this, we're not gonna allow any of our streaming in your village. And it would be a minimal impact to their budget. They go to
I think-
Chicago.
Right, it's a big
You know,
player, right?
But if you're the court, guys, let me get back, look into this and then I'll
Yeah,
get you an
yeah,
update on it.
yeah.
And yeah, we just started discussing this last week, week
Okay.
before.
And I think that's where IML comes in. You've got a collective group that wields much more power than just the.
Right, you have to do it as a group, right?
It's like I said, I really think that they do have other companies that audit. Villages and stuff like that, that ensure they're getting their NICOR gas tax properly, their ComEd tax properly. And then they take a portion of that for X number of years.
There's an administrative piece.
Yeah, so I really think that there's going to be a company that's going to come up and be able to do this, but they're just not there yet.
Okay. All right, good with the next, how about interest income? You and I spoke about it, Eugene.
Mhm.
We were looking at two numbers, originally 100, then 120. I don't know that I'm comfortable with moving up, but that's kind of a different discussion.
Again, I was looking at, you know, the interest rates coming down. But if
Right,
we want to move it up a little bit, we can do that.
Yeah,
stay at 100,
let's leave it there.
Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
It's
conservative.
not a big, it's not enough to make a
And
difference.
we hope that we stay. or go up a little.
Well, no,
But it's all
if they go up, that means the economy is getting bad.
Right, which there's a reason, but we also have the likelihood that we're gonna have less on deposit. At least
Yes.
at portions of the year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Correct.
because this is the money that we get this money from our 5-year cap, and as we spend our 5-year cap down, this is gonna go down.
Well, we really, that's a short list for the income sources here.
Yes,
How about the video gaming? Why are we thinking it's gonna go to 25 when we're projecting 31?
because we
Are we losing
added,
somebody?
no, we added whatchamacallit, Sunrise Liquors. They've got gaming machines there. So we originally were at 15,000 last year. But now Lucky Lady is open and the Sunrise Liquor. So I'm projecting that it's going to go up, but again, I'm not. This is one of those things I want to be a little bit conservative about because, you know, these places, LC's closed.
True.
And I don't want to count on the money and then have, Lucky Lady
And Isla had some video gaming in it.
for a very short time that they didn't actually get the permits to do.
Well, that their sister restaurant of the new restaurateur has them,
Okay.
so
Okay,
cross your fingers.
I had a question before and just reiterating it. The administrative ticket program, I mean, we're being conservative at 7,000. But we're just starting out, that's
Yeah.
likely to grow.
I would say relatively substantially in the future, yeah.
Okay. So,
Again, but this is one of those things
Mhm.
that we don't want to set it too
No,
high,
no,
too
it's-
realistic, because at that point, then we're creating a quota to tell the police officers, you gotta go out there and get X number so we can meet our budget.
Yeah, and that would never, not as long as I'm sitting in the chief's office, that'll never happen.
So
Right,
by keeping that number low, we can say, hey, this is not a relevant.
right, it's not, we're not doing
It's
it
not
for
a
revenue.
thing,
We're not
yeah,
doing it for- But within real life, I mean, because it's in its infancy,
yeah.
we would
As the
expect
program
naturally to grow a
grows-
little bit.
As the program grows, yeah, it will just naturally bring in more, but it's not gonna be driven by revenue.
Yeah, I hope our style wouldn't change based on that.
No, not at all,
Yes,
not at all.
okay, thank you.
And that's one of the byproducts of having a newer, younger, more aggressive force is they're out there making more stops, they're making more contacts. Those are the things that just by design that happens.
Does the circuit court fines going down related to the admin tickets? Being where they are?
One will affect the other.
Yeah,
The difference is we really get such little from the circuit court. That the administrative fines are much more beneficial for everybody, for the offenders and for the village. We're also very conservative on the impound fees. Again, that's another byproduct of officers out there making more stops, making more arrests for suspended revokes, things like that, where those impound fees go up as well.
We don't want to tell the officers you have to make this
Right.
number
No,
of
of course not.
stops.
No.
And when you have a number that's close to what you're always getting, then it becomes that.
You always want quality of the stops versus, but that was the worst thing about quotas is it was forcing officers to make bad stops. And we don't ever want to go down that road.
Do you think the franchise fees,
Oh, they're gonna disappear. I already,
so keeping it at 40 is high,
that's.
if we're gonna end at 38?
That's, yeah, I keep getting hopeful, but I really think that it's gonna continue going down. So if you wanna lower that, we can, but
Well, I would,
There you go.
with that premise, do you think 38,973 is really a good hard projection? Or is it still?
I think
Best guess.
I think it's a pretty good projection, but again, we don't know until they actually send us the check.
Recently sitting at 40.
And I got it at 40, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I was just saying, should we drop it a couple?
I mean, what is it?
If we have this, if negative thing. that we're dealing with people cutting the cable.
Yeah.
Not materially gonna make a huge difference,
Right.
so,
I've been cutting it every single year.
Right.
so you cut it 5, okay.
Yeah, I
All
already
right,
cut it
all right,
5.
you're right, you're right.
We good? The income portion?
That bottom line figure then with the changes is 2,434,554.
One more time,
2,434,554.
Okay.
can we say that's our total?
That's the
Well, that's
total
the income
income.
part.
Yeah.
It's the income,
Every-
it'd be nice if it was the grant.
No, just
Page
the
one-
total
page
for
one.
our
Just
page one
general fund.
General fund. See, all the.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'm confused, these things are all,
well, I made each different color, each one a different color. So administration is the beige and your income comes under the beige. This is all administration.
so those are the 2 pages, the number you just had was there.
Right, this is income. These are
Got
expenses.
it, yeah, thank you.
Okay, we ready for the expenses?
Can I jump ahead on expenses?
Yeah.
56 other professional services, that's where we used to have Barb's. Invoicing and funding, we do not know what we're gonna be paying the next year, but. We've been interviewing and looking at other businesses, other firms, other individuals. And while we make that decision, I'd rather, instead of dropping it to 37,000, let's put it back up closer to 70 or 80. So that we have that accounted for, because I have a feeling,
No matter who we pay.
yeah, it's gonna, I mean, some firms set up retainers, some don't, the fees are gonna be more than what we have at Carpentersville. So it'd just be nice to make sure that we have space. And looking at it, we've run some numbers, it looks like it could be,
Yeah, I mean, this was a
we can do the
break.
55 to 70.
It was an outlier to begin with.
Yeah.
What we have now, so.
It was based on the rates that are being charged by Carpentersville, which are so much lower than what ICCI charge. But if we're moving towards actually getting someone more like ICCI, then the rates are gonna be higher.
Well, we have to manage that somewhere, find the balance.
Right, so
I
then
mean,
that would be,
whether that money comes from somewhere else.
that's a line number 14, building permits. So we could
Right.
actually boost that up too.
Right, but I'm saying, when you do the comparative analysis with your peers. To get a permit for a roof. And you go next door and it's $150, let's just pick a number, and ours is $350,
So
we have to be cognizant of that.
yeah, so what happens is that a lot of other communities, they eat some of those costs.
Mhm.
Because they have income in other areas that help offset it, and we don't.
We don't, right?
And so we
Right.
pass everything we have on to the residents.
And everybody around us has their own internal building departments. So having to service out or pay out for them to
Yeah.
come in as independent contractors, that with the overhead, it's just.
It's kind of apples and oranges, it's not a fair comparison when they have an employee able to do.
No, it's a size issue,
Yeah.
again, once again, right, you're limited.
We'd like-
We can't really.
We're gonna try and see if we can't find a balance, but it'd be hard to ask a firm to take on this stuff and then still let us do. The lower level permits with Carpentersville that still reflect a savings for the residents, but we're looking, it's just.
We just hope that. What we have as income is gonna cover,
Okay, so we're gonna move that one,
and we're still.
we're gonna move that cost up.
Right.
Well, and we'll, move the cost up and move the income up. Maybe not the same proportion.
Yeah.
but-
You know what?
We can do that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you wanna make that 80 for building permits?
Yeah, we can do that.
And then the math to figure that
I can,
of what we need to raise our permit fees
It's-
to cover 80 grand.
yeah, so generally it's 10%.
I won't,
That we
I
keep,
think we have
Yeah.
a slight more.
Base is 300 for permits, then we'd be. at-
Oh, was it historically with?
We're looking at-
Let's do it there, that's the first place to start, right?
It's like we just-
I mean. be honest.
If we
it
do,
always looked
if
like
we
we were
move the
losing.
building permit line number 14 up to 80, and let's just make it a complete wash.
Okay,
Sounds good to me.
that's probably makes sense.
But then the hard part is figuring out what our permit fees have to be to cover it.
Exactly.
And who's gonna do all that?
Oh,
Well,
we can't do that until we know who we're gonna use.
exactly. Exactly. You know, because
That's a tough
so,
situation.
so how it works under ICCI is that they gave us approve this permit, well, this is my cost, so then we would charge the resident that cost plus 10%. Now, one of the companies we were looking at, they wanted a monthly like stipend. And then on top of that, inspection fees and stuff like that, so we have to then break that monthly stipend down as part of each permit.
I mean, when you do the math, is it, what is it? How did it come out?
We don't.
Exactly.
It's not a level.
Driveways.
Exactly, so it's not an easy calculation,
Would you do enforcement?
probably not.
Who holds all the?
I was gonna take a stab at it, but at this
Who
point,
holds
I've
all
got so many
records
balls
of
up in the air, and I-
We do.
But I think.
Yeah. No,
Fidelity.
So we don't go through some.
Yeah.
yes, no.
We don't have anything
Yeah,
on very,
I think so.
you'd have to go folder.
So-
each individual.
We can negotiate with HO.
We
Probably
probably
not for the
could, but they're really very close to what everybody else is charging.
Every other company that I've looked at, they're all like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they know what their competitors are charging, so then it comes down to the personnel you're dealing with and the service you're dealing with.
And that was the question. We have a feel for these people, as
Yeah,
far as their reputation.
reputation is very good.
Yeah, they seem
Okay,
like a good answer, but
Yeah.
if we can't afford it.
They agreed that they would sit down with us and help us come up with the correct permit cost. So,
And then we can't make a decision until we see that.
right, yeah,
So that's going forward?
well, not necessarily, we're still in the talking phase.
Okay.
and Parsonsville is continuing until it's not.
Monday at 10.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you have any more, Courtney?
No, thank you.
Oh, okay.
So if we make those both 80, that's gonna.
Boost up the-
No, it's gonna be a net, because we're increasing our expenses more than we're increasing our revenue.
Yes, yes, that is true.
It's gonna be a loser of 20.
Yeah.
Will be probably, yeah.
But it's the right thing to do.
It's logical, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Salaries, any question?
You're talking the difference between, that's 43 grand.
Okay.
So we raise the income by 20, so.
Okay. Are we to the?
Yeah, so it's
the
$23,000 loss there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, since we covered 56 or whatever it was,
That was it.
yeah,
Do we need to go back up?
yeah, we did.
Where are you at, Bill?
I'm just looking at
Salary.
salaries, part-time, salaries, full-time. I mean, I don't have questions specific on them, but
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
It's pretty much where we're at. So what we do is that whatever the police contract gets, everybody else gets.
Right.
And that's how we calculated out all the salaries.
And how long have we been doing that?
Forever is my understanding. Ever since we had. a union.
Before I've been here,
Okay.
which is 12.
But you had,
No.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Well, if everybody's in agreement that that's the fair thing to do. To make sure our employees get an increase and they stay ahead of inflation and they grow.
Well, it beats having to negotiate with every
Every union,
group,
yeah.
every individual.
Yeah.
You know, that's what your kind of alternative is.
Okay, all right. All right, all right.
Okay.
I had a question on the part-time, Gene, because this is something you and I kind of
Yeah.
touched on. You know, we got historic numbers in the 30s.
Well, we haven't had Linda, we just filled that position 2
Right.
days ago.
Right, and then you had a budget of 58, and then you had a best case of 31, and you
It's
and I
gonna be
think
getting
it's
higher.
gonna be closer to 50 is basically
Yeah,
what you said.
so it's like I said, is that, again, when we talked, Linda was not hired. We hired Linda on Monday. Or we.
Well, you were thinking it might
Yeah.
happen.
We were pretty sure, but again, this is the best case
Or you
scenario.
got her in there.
Yes, so
And how many months did we not have Wendy.
Or Melissa, oh, Melissa. Well, Melissa was paid partially out of police, partially out of us. Melissa's been gone a couple weeks now, maybe about a month. Yeah,
All right.
but she didn't do anywhere near the amount of hours that Linda's gonna do.
Okay.
And that was the problem, is that we couldn't count on when she was gonna be here.
How many hours is Linda gonna do?
She's gonna do 20 to 25.
So your 58 number is a hard
Is-
number,
is-
is a real number.
That's a good number.
It's a-
Because
it's a
We weren't
realistic.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And deferred comp is the same thing, that's.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so but that's only you though, right? Eugene?
No,
No, that-
It wouldn't be
no.
Linda.
no, it needs a full-time,
Full-time.
and the part-time is Linda and Sharon.
But they wouldn't be part of the IMRF, but they're part-time,
Well, maybe.
No, they would be,
but they're thousands.
they would be, because they'd be over 1,000.
She's at 25, she would be
Yeah.
part of it. She was at 20, she wouldn't be.
Yeah, well, yeah, if she only did a 20, even that, she would probably be at 1,000.
Let's not forget that when IMRF comes up for discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the other thing, we gotta know the liabilities at some point on the back liabilities.
Yes.
Okay,
oh,
anything else?
We don't have a health savings account, do we?
no, no. It's an option, and, nobody's taking it.
Other professional,
And actually, that's actually a line that I would have hidden or should have hidden.
other
if you-
professional services, just we're kind of all over the map with. that
Other
one.
professional services is the building, who we pay the building person.
That's probably it. Focused on the wrong one. Okay. Audit, we explained the difference, because you're allocating it among the different funds.
Yep,
That's why it doesn't foot to the exact
Exactly.
number.
Have we signed
yes.
them? Okay. What,
And I, for to LNA, and I sent it out already.
Okay.
what's the fee?
Was it, I think it was
1609 or something like that.
That was discussed at the board meeting on
Yeah.
Monday.
And it was a very modest increase.
Yes, it was like a $600 increase.
Hey, the computer management services,
So we're stuck with that.
um,
That is
website,
the West Dundee fee, the computer management services, West Dundee. And that's for the internet, our telephone. Their mobile contract to come in and fix everything.
but you have website, that was my question.
The website, yeah,
Don't we manage that?
no, we pay a company.
Probably have to. Yeah.
So,
So when we want to post something on the website,
I can do it,
that's what I thought.
yeah, but we pay. No, we pay, the company creates the website and maintains their
Maintains
servers
it,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
You know who that is?
Unicode, which is now Civic Plus,
Okay,
and they're kind of like the industry standard.
for municipalities.
Yeah. So what the situation is right now is that starting next year, they have this ADA compliance for websites, and they're already ADA compliant. A lot of smaller communities are scrambling because they have all these websites that are not ADA compliant. And they,
What would that be?
and well, because it was never required before. And so what's happening is that the companies that they were going with are saying, well, we're not gonna take you as a compliant, as a client if we have to make it ADA compliant. So they're getting forced into, so we were basically ahead of the curve on this.
Can you give me an example of an ADA compliant website?
So it is when you put your.
Seen in
Right, your
Yeah,
touch.
you can only use certain colors and certain color schemes. That if your mouse cursor goes over a picture, it has to have a description of what the picture is. So that a person.
People that are
Audio.
colorblind?
Audio
who is-
feedback.
Right, so for a person who is blind, they can still use the website and navigate the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all this kind of stuff. So when I post the cover of the newsletter, I have to say it is, a picture of a house with jack-o'-lanterns out front or, you know.
That's your voice.
Yeah, so it's someone who has an idea of, you know, what the picture is of.
All right,
Thank you.
we nailed this one down, right? You don't have more, Bill? Questions? Barry?
No.
Nothing jumping out, I mean. So then where do we land on this one? Bill, get your calculator ready.
All right.
With, you know,
So 416,909.
So Gene, just one suggestion for the IMRF liability for the village, on part-time employee. Since their hours are only gonna be over by 40 hours if they work 20, 20 hours a week. You can interject a furlough in there, a week-long furlough somewhere throughout the year, maybe once every 6 months. That keeps the hours under the 1,000, and then that's, because the rate is going to be based on is gonna be based on anticipated schedule, not actual hours. So if the anticipated schedule has those built-in furloughs, then
So-
you're under the 1,000 and you could save the IMRF commitment to the village then for a part-time employee.
So at this point, Sharon gave me 6 days that she's not gonna work over the next 2 months. So that would, that lowers the amount of hours that she actually puts in.
And it's,
And she doesn't get sick time or anything like that,
Okay.
so, those lower it too.
and we set that limit as a part-time hour max.
We pick either 600 or 1,000 hours.
so wait, what's the number there, Gene?
So for,
18,000?
What number are you talking?
I don't have old numbers.
so you're looking at, for total administration is 416,909. For the expenses as a whole, 2,401,381,
One more time?
2,401,381.
Right, something 16, 15.
And
We're
then
positive.
we're positive for
15.
53,173 because we took out that 200,000.
Did you, where we raised the building permits 20, did you have that in?
Yes,
So that's 2,454,554.
yeah.
Okay.
So how do you wanna handle the close out of the meeting? Do you wanna
So what we
send
do
us
is,
a copy, or do you wanna do?
well,
Sure.
what we would do-
Well, we know the number.
what we would do is we would make a motion to recommend this budget to the board.
Right, but we.
But
mentally.
With the two numbers.
Yeah, with my changes.
Right, there's only be one
Don't
column,
tell
only
us.
be one column.
No, well,
We'll make the
they're gonna
changes.
get, the board is gonna get everything that I
Yeah.
got here with the updated figures. I'm not gonna give them the worst case or the best case scenario.
So we'll make the motion to recommend as changed,
But these are what they'll be.
Yes,
and then when he's done with it, he can send us
Right, you.
he can send us the new version.
I'm gonna send you the new version.
Yeah.
That'll match that.
Right,
Yeah.
That'll match that.
I'm not gonna say a number, I'm just gonna say. For the revised number.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So you're gonna recommend
I'm ready to.
the proposed budget
You read it.
with
I'll read it.
changes made.
Let me give it. Let me read it.
Okay. So recommend the proposed budget with the changes we've made.
Well, yeah, we could say as revised.
So we have provided.
Make a motion then to recommend the proposed budget changes that have been made for the budget that will be published.
That's the long way around.
Well,
Wow,
Okay,
I'm already.
okay.
you are,
Recommend the
you
proposed
are pretty.
budget.
Thank you, Rick.
I mean that the best possible way.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah, we'll just do recommend the proposed budget as revised.
That's revised. There you go.
Perfect.
Make a motion to recommend budgets for the revisions made.
As revised.
As revised.
as revised.
So moved.
Second. Now time to vote.
Let's vote. Barry Sanders.
Aye.
Okay.
Bill Zazoko.
Aye.
Bill Hana. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, so any other orders of business, Mr. Bill? They do at the end.
Well, we still have no business.
That's true. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You guys need to go while there's still can.
How long has it been? Okay, it's been 3 hours. That's our max.
Well, it's not necessarily.
Only thing I wanted to say, and I wanted to get feedback from you as well. And anybody else, is that for our next finance committee, which will be held on, what's the date? I still need another copy of that
Yeah.
to laminate for my bulletin board at home.
Put it in your calendar. Enter it in your Google channel. You set.
May 14th.
14, no.
May 14th.
May 14th.
Um,
I will not be here.
Okay, let's just
So what do
weigh in and
I'll
we'll
get on.
find,
duly noted.
let's see
Sanders
if we can
not
find
there.
another day if we can. How's that? We can.
I could zoom in from Greece.
That would be cool. Thanks for that.
What time of day would that be when we're meeting?
It's about 9 hours.
You wanna give up 3 hours of your sleep, probably.
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna be sleeping, okay.
But,
okay.
so just a quick discussion, and then I'll turn this up, is, I know we had a really good discussion about our revenue, and I love that. But I would want all of us to collectively be thinking between now and May 14th of every possible, like you have, Kyle, great job on that, of different avenues we could figure out for revenue for this village, because the expenses just
Yep.
scare the dickens out of me.
No, I agree. I agree.
So, if we can make that a line item on the agenda and all of us put in some, work, and then each one of those line items, I would like to see when the money comes in, so we could time cash flow. Not that that's probably that big a thing, but just an understanding of this group. I think we highlight it, sift through it. It's only gonna generate maybe good thoughts and ideas. Okay. Anybody else do you see for the next one, Eugene? Any big things? This is usually the biggest thing of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I might start on the appropriation, if the budget is approved at the next meeting, I can start on the appropriation, give you a first look at that.
Okay. And then anything else in that interim, you guys as well? And we'll check with Don. Don's coming. And Catherine. All right, so do I have a motion to adjourn our meeting at 4:08?
Make motion.
Second.
All right. Roll call.
So easy.
Aye.
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 Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Okay. You walked around, Chief?
Huh?
You walked
I'm
around?
off to now, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send you something.
Okay.
This has to do with the learning project.
Okay.
I want to get it as far as we can, give it the time. And did a letter again, if they can ask questions. I'd like share. I'd like us to get our heads around it. I think it's a pretty well developed thing, but at least room for improvement.
No, but I mean.
Will we be able to mail that? I guess maybe I'm going into my meeting right now. Will we be able to mail it with the water bill?
Oh, because of the measurement.
one
Yeah,
water bill
because
I got
that'll
this
turn
year.
right on the back.
Go out with the dot.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful.
Well, it won't get there for.
It won't be
first.
It'll be there. It's
Very
it'll get there.
Yeah, it's never going to deliver.
As they're opening the.
Better than waiting.
Squeeze the money out of that.
So that it would be in the water bill.
Exactly. It's got it done. It's a cost.
But I can also put it up on the website.
That's a given. That's a given. Both of those, the people who ask questions, I think the website and the letter. And I know that Bear mentioned it. I mean, if we had a demo bill, it surely wouldn't hurt.
Mhm.
I kind of wish that we
I
had
can,
the $30 was more transparent
yeah,
in years past, but it's not.
Well, second best is for us to explain as best we can, so that,
I've done my best if it.
so that even Barry.
Just so you know, Eugene,
Well,
And Bill
Well, it says.
and all of us kind of worked on it.